love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Just level up. Don't be scared. Turning back, I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Just level up. Don't be scared.
Welcome in, everyone, to Fantasy Pros. I'm your host, Dr. Evil. So Joe Pisapia was insolent, so I put him in a burlap bag and I beat him with reeds. And then I had him liquidated. So today's show will be a little more evil for Halloween. With me, as always, is my friend Andrew Erickson. Andrew, it's nice to see you on the program today.
I'm ready to rock, baby. Let's go. Week 8. Woo!
Right. So we're going to be taking your questions for the next 90 minutes. So once again, as that moron Joe Pisapia says, if you've got questions, well, I guess we've got answers. Is that what okay, we've got answers for you. So drop them in the chat and we will get to them as soon as we can. Of course, I'd like to remind everyone that today we are brought to you by Bettle. Bettle is the only fantasy platform that lets you use season-long team to win money every single week. So sync your squads, create a match, and win cash. You already know that your fantasy team is the best, and now you can prove it. Import your season-long lineup to challenge teams across Bettle, an entire network to weekly matches for real money. Everybody likes cash. I like money. Money's good. Sometimes I like to win $1 million on Bettle. You could, so go ahead. Take the leap and put yourself out there. New users get a free $25 wager. That seems like a good deal to me. You can sign up at bettle.co. Again, that's bettle.co. bettle.co. I don't know why they make me spell it, but they do. Or you could download the app. I know the kids love apps nowadays, so you could go and do that as well on Apple or Android. That's Bettle. So go win some cash. So Andrew Erickson, lots of news floating around. We're going to get to some of the news that we've got here. We've got people that are actually playing football. Oh, what a shock. It's going to be great. We've got Tyler Lockett, who's going to play. We've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's going to play. DeAndre Swift is going to play. And Micah Parsons is also going to play. But not playing again is our good friends Jarvis Landry and Michael Thomas. Your thoughts on Chris Olave this week?
I think that he's a fantasy wide receiver 1 this week. Since week 2, 30% target share, great matchup against the Raiders. Number 1 in terms of touchdown rate allowed to opposing wide receivers this season. So Andy Dalton drops back throw. He's throwing it to Olave. So I think he's a great play this week.
Is he an evil play?
No, just good. All good. No evil.
But evil's good where I come from. So I like the evil play. So if he's evil play, I think it's good. So I want to play him because he's evil. Andy Dalton looks evil sometimes, especially when he's throwing the ball to the other team, which I'm not a big fan of. Let's get to some of your questions. Let's go. By the way, Andrew, did you know that my father invented the question mark? True story. He did. Okay, let's go to Dion Rod, 49ers D/ST versus the Cowboys. Who should I start today, Andrew?
I'm going to start the Cowboys still. They're on
You
fire.
like Cowboys?
Got Parsons back. Yeah. Starting Cowboys.
You're a big fan of Cowboys, yeah? Do you like to wear a hat sometimes,
No, not with this
chaps?
hair.
No?
Not with this hair.
Okay. It's good hair. I'm a little jealous of the hair. I'm not going to lie. The hair looks good. All right, let's go to Daniel Keenan. Okay, gurus, I need 2. Rondell Moore, Devontae Smith, Josh Reynolds, Mooney, and Wan'Dale Robinson. It's a 12-team PPR in case you care, Andrew.
I like Devontae and I like Wan'Dale Robinson.
That's good. I like the Wan'Dale too. It sounds like Rondell, but with a speech impediment. That's why I like the Wan'Dale so much. Let's go to Sean Vinegar, which sounds like vinegar, which makes me laugh. It's funny. Let's go help Joey P. Hope your crystal ball is working today. Well, too bad he's not around. It's just me today. So full PPR need 4. Lamb, Boyd, London, Wan'Dale, Paris, and Miles Sanders. It's tough to start Paris Campbell, isn't it now? Because we just simply don't know what's going on at the quarterback position for the Colts. So who of these 4 would you like to start in your lineups today, Andrew?
Well, I'm going to look at it as who do I want to sit? And I want to sit London. I don't want to play Drake London because they don't throw the ball. So that's an issue. And I want to sit Paris Campbell. Like you said, the quarterback play is a question mark. We've seen Campbell benefit the last couple of weeks because of the uptick in passing volume. And I don't know if we're going to see that today with Ellinger under center at quarterback.
Very well. Wesley Ducott, who is actually an old friend of mine from Belgium. People didn't know that. Wesley and I go way back. We went to school together. We were best friends. Hello, fellow bald brothers. There's only one of us today. This man has hair, so he was anticipating Derek Brown being here, but Derek Brown, unfortunately, was unable to attend the meeting. Should I trade away any combination of the following to get Travis Kelce? Waddle, St. Brown, Mostert, Michael Carter. Is that a move that you want to make for the big tight end, Erickson?
Is it all those guys, or is it just a combination?
I think he just wants you to pick a few. I think that's what it is.
I mean, if I'm struggling at tight end and I just don't want to keep streaming the position, then I think that whatever the other owner wants is probably what you're going to have to do to get him. I mean, Kelce right now is still a difference maker. We've seen Andrews kind of fall off the last couple of weeks because he's been dealing with an injury. So if you just don't want to keep streaming tight end, then I get going for it, especially if you have more depth at receiver.
Works for me. Okay, let's get to the next question. Santana, full PPR. Start 1, Renfro, Curtis Samuel, or Garrett Wilson. It's a tough group right now. Sound good maybe week 1, week 2, not so much anymore. So who do you want to start from this group, Andrew?
I think I could go with Hunter Renfro. I mean, it's a good matchup. Again, we talked about the Saints have been banged up in their secondary. It's in the dome. Darren Waller is banged up. Devontae Adams is sick. Like, we've seen Renfro have big games before, so he hasn't had one yet this season. I don't want to start Garrett Wilson against the Patriots with Zach Wilson at quarterback, and they're playing the Patriots, which is a horrible matchup in general. So, and Curtis Samuel is probably safer than Renfro, but not a lot of upside. He gets 8 targets, but doesn't usually get stuff downfield. Renfro, I think, has more touchdown upside, so I'd go with him.
Right. Any concerns with Devontae Adams and his belly ache? Are you worried about the illness at all? You're going to run him out there? You feel good about him?
Yeah, I think that I still feel good about him. You remember a couple of weeks ago, Josh Jacobs was sick for the Raiders.
His tummy hurt.
Yep.
Maybe it's going around. It's like a bug. It's like going around a little bit around the locker room. You pass it around. It's what people, you throw away your tissues when you're done. You don't just leave them around. It's gross. Okay?
It's true. You got to throw him out. But I think Adams is going to be fine. I mean, Jacobs, when he came back from his illness, when he had to take a separate plane to the game, they gave him a full workload and he was fine. So I'd expose to do the same thing with Devontae.
I like private planes myself. That's how I prefer to travel. It's much better, You want to hang out with the riffraff. These people are gross. They take their shoes off, their socks.
Riffraff.
Disgusting, really. Okay, let's get to the next question. Lenny Texidor, what's up, guys? Love your show. Flex. He's got 3 flames going on too. Lots of emojis. PPR 12-team pick 1. Eno Benjamin, Deontay Foreman, Jacoby Myers, or Darrell Henderson.
I'm playing Eno. I feel most confident about his role as a receiver. Foreman's, I think, is close. Maybe it was like half PPR. Maybe it leaned more towards Foreman, but I'm going to go with Eno here.
Very good. We're also giving away things here at Fantasy Pros. We like to do that sometimes. So what we're giving away today, we're giving away a CeeDee Lamb Dallas Cowboys jersey. It's magnificent. You should see it. It's really quite something. It's from our good friends at Pristine Auction. They can buy lots of things there. It's really cool. So pristineauction.com is the place to go. And if you want to win a CeeDee Lamb, which is a funny name, Ceedee. I mean, really, what's going on with some of these names? You all have to do one thing. You have to be subscribers to Fantasy Pros. You should do that because we do fun things like Halloween shows where we dress up and we like to do characters. And if you do that and you drop a question or a comment in the chat, then guess what? You could win that CeeDee Lamb jersey. It's very simple, really. That's all you have to do. So go ahead and subscribe. Make sure you like the video too. It's very important. And click the little bell till it goes ding, and then you get the notifications, which is great. I've got them on my mobile phone. I've got all the notifications. It's really quite something. All right, let's get to more of your questions again. We'll drop them in the chat. Let's go to Rand Hawayada. I believe that's his name, Rand Hawa. And need a win this week. Should I start Dak versus the Bears, or should I take a flyer on Andy Dalton and hope for a big week again?
I think I'm just going to play Dak against the Bears.
Right. Just going to take the easy way out, huh? That's what you do. You just go easy. Just that's it. No thoughts.
He needs a win this. He needs a win this week. Take the easy way out.
Sure, taking the easy way out. Andrew Erickson taking the easy way out since 1997. Daniel Keenan. Okay, gurus. I need 2. Rondale Moore, Devontae Smith, Josh Reynolds, Darnell Mooney, Wan'Dale Robinson. It's a 12-man PPR. So who's your 2 that you want to go ahead and play? Who's your number 1? But most importantly, who's your number 2?
Doing Devontae Smith, my number 1, and then number 2 would be Wan'Dale.
I like the name Wan'Dale. I just like saying Wan'Dale. It's a fun name to say. I just like it. All right, let's get to the next one here. Kyle Beanie. Rate this trade as a 12-team full PPR. I need to improve my wide receivers. I get Keenan Allen and Devonta Smith, and I give up Christian Kirk and Alan Lazard. How did I do, Andrew?
I mean, it seems pretty like kind of like a lateral move. I don't know. I mean, Allen, I guess you could expect a little bit more from without Mike Williams, and Devontae Smith probably has more weekly upside. So on the surface, it looks pretty close, but now when I kind of like think about it a little more, I think you did upgrade a little bit at the receiver position. So I like it.
I love it. I'm getting Keenan Allen and I'm getting Smith, and Alan Lazard is hurt. Who knows how long he's going to be out? Everyone's hurt all the time. I mean, what the hell are we doing here?
It's football.
I mean, really.
It's football.
But what's the difference? It was always football. Now everyone's hurt all the time. I've got no players on any of my lineups. I've got nothing here. Throw me a freaking bone. Let's get to the next one. Seth Martins. He's got a question. Everyone's got lots of questions. Full PPR, pick 3. 2 wide receivers and a flex. Olave, Foreman, Pittman, and Boyd. Andrew Erickson. Who is the odd man out?
Odd man out. It's probably Pittman for me. Just the most question marks, least secure. No, he doesn't have a floor this week. He could go out there and get 3 targets and do nothing. Right. At least Boyd, Higgins is gone, Chase is out of the lineup, so Boyd should see some steady volume. Foreman is the only healthy running back the Panthers have, and Olave's in a really good spot. So Pittman definitely has the most risk, and I think that in itself is enough reason to get off of him for these other 3 guys.
I agree for whatever that's worth. Let's go to GW Lex. Help Fantasy Gurus. I need a full PPR flex, Thielen or Wan'Dale, and a tight end, Mike Gesicki or Darren Waller. Well, Waller never plays, so I'm just going to play Gesicki because, I mean, I can. And then Wan'Dale or Thielen, Andrew Erickson, when you're looking at these 2 players, obviously Thielen has more draft capital, but is Wan'Dale more useful in week 8? It's a real question.
I feel you're hoping he scores a touchdown. Like that's been his MO basically for the past 4 years. Is
needs the
score
touchdown.
Or not? Whereas Wan'Dale has a way higher floor. So it's a floor ceiling evaluation. I think all things being considered, I'd still just probably start Wan'Dale because I value my wide receiver 3 a little bit more when it comes to floor. But if you're up a big underdog against your opponent, I mean, you probably want to shoot for the moon with Thielen. But if you feel pretty good about your matchup against your opponent, maybe they have a bunch of people on bye weeks. I think that Wandale is still a fine start, especially in full PPR. If it's half, I think Thielen would be the guy, but full PPR, Wandale is going to get 5-6 receptions pretty easily.
There you have it. Now, if you like touchdowns, and I know that you do because you play the fantasy football, make sure that you join our Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. And when you do, you can go and call touchdowns in the Touchdown Call channel. That's a great name, by the way. What kind of rocket scientist made that one up, really? Touchdown Call channel? Couldn't be a little bit more creative on that one. Probably got Mike Mayer written all over it if I know anything. All right, but anyway, if you like to go and make the touchdown calls, you can go and do that over on our Discord. Again, fantasypros.com/chat. You go, you sign up, you go become a premium member. And then what you do is you go and you call the touchdowns. And if you are correct, you can win lots of fabulous prizes like this jersey right here. Like this Stephon Diggs jersey. It's glorious. Look at it. Right now, Hart is 24K, still up at the top of the leaderboard, doing quite well, I must say, in the touchdown call contest. So let's get back to the questions here. So go join it, do all the things like the cool kids do, like they do the dances. You do the TikTok dances there. I know you're on the TikTok, Andrew Erickson. Are you a TikTok dancer yourself? Yes?
No, retired from the TikTok dancing. I just play my music now. My
You just play your
instrument,
music now?
my
I do the
acoustic
TikTok
guitar.
dancing. I do. Oh, I'm an excellent dancer. That just got 1,000 views just now. Just from that. I'm a big deal on the social medias. Okay, let's get to more questions. James Meza has a question. Full PPR. Eckler on a bye. Do I start Eno Benjamin or Deonta Foreman? Chuba is not here, so you're going Foreman or Eno? Which one you want to go? Do you like the Eno? You a big fan of the Eno?
Yeah, I like the Eno in the full PPR.
You like the Eno, huh? Do you like emo also? Is that the kind of music you play? You like emo? You sing about how your parents didn't love you enough? Is that what you do?
Yep, every single day.
Right. Right. A lot of feelings. You got a lot of feelings in there? Yeah, inside your heart? Yeah. Got a lot of
Right
feelings? Make you
Yep.
feel a certain way? Yeah. Yeah. Emotions to get out there in your music. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Okay, let's get to the next one here. QRR89 morning. PPR, please rank these three. Swift, Olave, Ramondre. Thanks.
Ramondre, Olave, Swift.
It's a good order. I like that order. Okay, let's get to the next one here. Cathedra97, good morning. In half PPR, 14-team league, should I stash Dotson or Burks? Both of these guys are hurt right now, but if you're going to stash somebody, who do you want to stash? You like the Jahan or you like the Traylon?
I think I like Burks more, honestly, at this point.
You
Like
like the
Dotson
Burks.
is coming back to be the wide receiver 3 on his team. At least Burks, you have a path where he could come back and be the number one guy. I mean, this team needs juice at the wide receiver position. All they have is Robert Woods, and he's like wide receiver 40 this week in ECR. So not a lot of faith with him moving forward. So Burks, I think, when he comes back, could make a splash where Dotson, you're just kind of hoping he carves out some type of role. Yeah.
Sometimes I get backed up and I need a little juice. It helps everything flow better. Sometimes, just once in a while. Okay, let's get to Amanda Clark. She's got a question. Have PPR Brandon Ayuk or Jacoby Myers?
Ayuk.
No hesitation.
No Debo.
No Debo. Yeah, stinks without the Debo. I used to have more Debo. I've got zero Debo this year. Zero Debo.
Zero
It's also
Debo.
a
It's the
song
name of my
written
new
by
album.
Andrew. Yeah, so I was going to say, when does that drop, by the way?
Zero Debo.
Does that drop tomorrow night on Halloween? You and Taylor Swift dropping albums at midnight, right?
Exactly. Right before
I heard you dated Taylor
November.
Swift for a short time too. She wrote a song about you. It was called Zero RB. It was great. Let's get to the next one here. Anthony Forrest has a question. Start Darrell Henderson or Eno Benjamin? I like the Eno. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'm going back to Eno. We were hearing some rumors about Ronnie Rivers
Easy for you to say.
having a bigger role in this Rams game today. So, I mean, we'll see if that ends up playing out. But Henderson has got a tough matchup against the 49ers. His role wasn't nearly as good the last time we saw him play, even with Cam Akers out of the lineup. So Henderson is really like a fringe RB2 for me, whereas Eno, I think, has way more upside. Better game environment against the Vikings. Should be high scoring, high paced. in the dome. So I just like that more.
I think Sean McVay's had a little too much Campbell's soup. That's what I think. A little too much soup. I think it's going to his brain a little bit, making some weird calls.
Soup for brains.
Soup for brain. There you go. There you go. Soup for brains. Let's go to Shelby Mertens. Full PPR, Pitts, Schultz, or Irv Smith. Half PPR, Stevenson or Swift. Let's start with the running backs here. Stevenson or Swift. Andrew Erickson, which do you prefer?
Stevenson for me.
Right, okay. And then Pitts, Schultz, or Irv Smith. Tight end is not good. It's not great.
No,
Yeah.
tight end is
Not
not
a fan.
good. I'm starting Irv Smith with confidence. Playing the Cardinals. They suck
Play the
against
Cardinals.
tight ends. So
Right,
that's worth enough for me to play him.
Keep it easy. Easy breezy. Easy peasy. That's the way Erickson rolls. That's how he rolls. Okay, let's get to another one. Prodigy. Hey, Fantasy Pros. Thanks for all the help in a playoff spot in all leagues. Thanks to you guys. Well, that's good news. Good for you, Prodigy. Humble brag. Need some more. Wandale, Henderson, Khalil Herbert, or Algier in half PPR flex today. Also, do I trade Jamar Chase? Let's start with the Jamar Chase conversation. Chase is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. It's a long time. Are you trading for or trading away Jamar Chase? Your thoughts?
Well, considering Prodigy says that he's in a playoff spot in all of his leagues, I would want to hold Chase. So, because he can afford, if he has to lose a couple games here and there, like it seems like he's probably still going to be well off getting into the playoffs. And that's when you want Jamar Chase, like to make a massive difference in your lineup. So I would definitely hold on to Chase. When it comes to the matchups that he listed out, I still like Tyler Algier in half PPR. I think full PPR I'd probably go with Wandale, but Algier, look, he's the starting running back for the Atlanta Falcons. Got 15 plus carries in back-to-back weeks. They're playing the Carolina Panthers, and this is a game that should go back and forth. Like I don't think that there's a clear favorite among these two teams. I mean, they're basically fighting for the crown in the NFC South somehow, some way.
It's an ugly crown. I don't think anybody wants to wear it. It's pretty.
Not like your
awful.
crown. Not like your or Joey P's crown, I should say. Not your.
Who the hell is Joe Pisapia?
Yeah, you don't have a crown.
No.
But I would go with Algier.
I would have a crown if it was an evil crown. I would wear it if it were evil, or maybe if it had lasers on the top of it. I like lasers.
Lasers.
Okay. Yeah, lasers are cool. Okay, let's get to another question here. Aaron Quisenberry. It's an unfortunate last name. I've never had a Quisenberry. It doesn't sound very appetizing. I think I'm just going to pass on the Quisenberry. Good morning, guys. I need a defensive play. Pats or Bills defense. Our league gives 1.4. What am I saying? 1.5 points for sack, 2 points for turnovers, and possible bonus points for lower score and yardage given up. So looking at this, I've got to be honest with you. As much as I like the Pats defense, I think the Bills are going to absolutely smoke the cheese on Sunday night. You like that? That's a metaphor. Your thoughts here, Andrew Erickson, on these two opposing defenses?
I still like the Pats more. I don't know. I think Zach Wilson is way more. I mean,
it's good.
Looking for turnovers.
This is like my 1 and 3. That's the problem. I've got them at 1 and 3 respectively, but I think the Bills are just going to destroy the Green Bay Packers this weekend.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if this person has them both on his roster already, or he's looking to pick up the Pats D. Because it's like if you just have Bills D on your team, like that's your defense. You just play them, and you just don't look. I mean, look, if you're rostering two defenses, then I would just play the Bills and just play them every single week, and then just drop the Pats D and pick up somebody else. I don't know. I think that's probably how I would view it. Bills
we got one from Pat Fitzmaurice that wants to know: are you Courtney Love? He thinks that you might be Courtney Love today.
Who's Courtney Love? I don't know who that is.
Oh, come on. Throw me a freaking bone here. You don't know who Courtney Love is? She was dated Kurt Cobain.
Oh.
She was a music star. Hole?
Is that the name of her band or the name of her song?
It was the name of her band. Yes. Malibu was a popular song. No.
Nah.
Celebrity Skin. Oh, make me over. I'm all I want to be.
Not
right. I walking study.
If it wasn't in Guitar Hero, I probably have never heard of it. So.
Well, Celebrity Skin wasn't Guitar Hero. I'm pretty sure it was in Rock Band. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well, Rock Band and Guitar Hero are different.
Well, what you didn't have enough friends to play Rock Band? You solo act? Is that what you're telling me?
I was a solo artist. So yeah.
Who's Courtney Love? She was also an actress too.
In what movie? What movies?
It's going to be a long show. The People vs. Larry Flint, I believe she was in. Some other films as well.
Never heard of it.
No Courtney Love.
Not ringing any
what the
bells.
hell? Let's keep going. Jason D. Like the Wolverine beatdown of Sparty, I need a win today, so please pick 2. Kenneth Walker, Damian Pierce, Aaron Jones, or Josh Jacobs. It's Walker and Jacobs for me. How about you, Andrew?
Agreed. Walker Jacobs.
Doll Parts, Courtney Love song? No. Yeah, they really want you. They really want you. They really do. No? Nothing?
No.
Great. All right, let's go to Brian Wiz, Dak or Danny Dimes. What do you do here?
I'm playing Danny Dimes.
You like the rushing. Is that it?
I like the
You like him
rushing.
running
And
around the field?
I
Is
like
it
the
cleats?
running around the
Okay,
field.
right.
And
Sure.
we're still waiting on Dak to have like a productive game for fantasy. He's played 2 games this year and he's sucked in both of them. So I'll go with Dimes. Stay in the flames.
Actually, now that I'm looking at you, you look a little more Kurt Cobain, which is kind of funny.
I was actually kind of thinking that too.
You look more Kurt
What's he-
Cobain than Courtney Love now that I think about it.
Kurt
So,
Cobain.
yeah. You know who that is, right?
Yes, I know who that is.
Kill me now. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to the next one here. We have K. Watt. Morning, fellas. I need some help deciding my flex half-point PPR. Waddle or Stevenson? Who do you want to play this week, Andrew?
Ah, man. I think you got to still play Waddle. It's just, I mean, the guy is
Yes.
averaging like nearly 100 receiving yards per game and they're playing the Lions. So,
Not good. No.
yeah.
Alabama has a question. Flex for half Brandon Ayuk or Eno Benjamin?
I think Benjamin is probably safer for a floor because he plays running back, but I think Ayuk probably has a higher ceiling against the Rams.
Right.
No Debo, so that's what I would base my decision on if I want floor or ceiling.
S3 Itha Gaming TV. I'm not even sure what that is. Is that English? Can I get a ruling on that? I have no idea what that is. Smith or Pittman in the half PPR. Colts quarterback Chase Chaos incoming is a question. I don't know. But they're trying to figure out if they're going to play Smith or Pittman in the half PPR.
I mean, I'm not playing Traquan Smith over Pittman. I don't know. I mean, what has Traquan done that gives me confidence that he's
done
going to...
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so I'll just
He's
roll
a
with
loser.
Pittman.
He's a big fat zero. That's what he
I'll roll with
is.
Pittman.
Loser. Okay. He's not getting anything done. Okay, let's get to another question here. Asirek, what? I don't even know what this is. Aceres Chronicles. I don't know who you are, but I don't really care about your chronicles, okay? Let's get to 14 team PPR. Should I start DK at wide receiver? I also have Chase Claypool and Curtis Samuel as alternatives. So you like the alternatives, or do you want to go ahead and roll the dice with DK? I mean, what's the latest on DK? Is he even playing?
They say he's going to play. So what that means and what kind of role that means is very up in the air. Considering they said he was going to be out for like multiple weeks and now he's going to like play in this game. So he could be on a pitch count. It's not a good matchup either. Like the Giants have been pretty good against wide receivers this season. So I would probably just roll with Claypool and Curtis Samuel. And if I get beat by a big touchdown by Metcalf, so be it. He has 0 floor this week. And I'd rather take a floor with probably Curtis Samuel would probably be the guy I'd lean towards.
Stephen Hawkins, which is unfortunate because if he added a G, he would be the smartest man in the universe, but he's just Stephen Hawkins instead. So Stephen, 10 team PPR, 1 flex, Pittman, Deontay Johnson, Ramondre Stevenson, or Tyler Lockett. Those are your choices. You can only have 1 though, so who do you want?
Stevenson.
Good choice. Let's go to Casey. Casey, what's up, dudes? No. In full PPR, Taysom, Pitts, Fant, and Juwan Johnson or Bryant at tight end. You've got a lot of choices there, but none of them are great.
Should probably just going to play Taysom Hill. It keeps on working, so don't fix it if it ain't broke. That's a song, right? That's going to be a song lyric.
Sure. Right. It's a song. Okay, let's go to Squint Eastwood. Well, that's clever. You spent all day thinking of that one, didn't you, Squint? Yeah? You're real proud of yourself, what you did there? Because it sounds like Clint Eastwood, but it's Squint. So I have to look really hard at your question. Let's get to Schultz or Irv Smith. Squint wants to know who you're playing.
I'm playing Irv Smith.
Right. Connor Brennan, my boys. See, he's on the internet. He knows it's cool to say things like that. Derek Brown doesn't know that. It's your boys, Dr. Evil. And here with Kurt Cobain here hanging out. The ghost of Kurt Cobain. Or perhaps Courtney Love, who Andrew Erickson still does not know who that is. Perhaps Google will help that. Please pick my wide receiver 2 and flex for PPR. 16 teams. That's a lot of teams here, Connor. David Montgomery, James Robinson, Alec Pierce, DPJ, Josh Reynolds, or Van Jefferson. Van Jefferson's back and active today. Hooray. Everyone's super excited about that. But who do you want to play here? Montgomery seems to be like the interesting one, the easy one. Is that the easy answer? Is that the right answer, Andrew?
Yeah, I think that he gives you probably the biggest floor of those guys
Okay.
you listed off. As like, I mean, he's still a starting running back, so we don't know what Robinson's role is going to be. And then when it comes to the receivers, Pierce, Peoples-Jones, Reynolds, Jefferson, I think Donovan Peoples-Jones is probably the guy I like the most. He has a great role in his offense. The Browns should be chasing points theoretically against the Bengals on Monday night, and he's been the most consistent, I think, out of Pierce,
Right.
Van Jefferson. I mean, Van Jefferson obviously hasn't played, and then Josh Reynolds. So I would go with Donovan Peoples-Jones and Montgomery.
Very well. Okay, let's go to the next one, shall we? Dylan Steele, great costumes. Thanks, Dylan. You're super cool.
You're wearing
Okay,
a costume?
It hurts, okay? When you say things like that, it hurts daddy, okay? Maybe you should check yourself before you rickety wreck yourself a little bit, maybe? A little bit? No? Like Robert
Is
De
that another
Niro?
song lyric that I don't know?
Oh, God. Just keep going. Dylan Steele, full PPR, Najee, Singletary, Ayuk, and I need to flex one.
Singletary for me.
You love the Singletary. Can't get enough, right?
Good matchup against the Packers. Major favorites. Like it.
Major favorites. Okay, let's go to Ed C. Dr. Evil, please, I need your help. Also, the other lady friend. Yes,
Is
he
that
was
me?
a Targaryen. I think you're my lady friend right now. I think that's what you are. It's fine. You're a very pretty woman. You do make a very pretty girl.
Oh my god.
Mostert or Mixon in the PPR? Gracias, he says. Well,
I'm
look at
going
that.
with
It's a question.
well, he asked for you first for help.
Well,
So
let's
what's your
Mixon.
answer?
I'm still going to play Mixon.
I
Okay, I'm
agree.
going
I'm also playing
against the
Mixon.
Cleveland Browns. But are you crazy? Are you high?
With no Jamar
You got to
Chase?
do that. With no Chase and the Cleveland Browns who can't stop a run to save their life. No. You got to play Mixon. Forget that. Okay, Jennifer Hafner, who's always here. She loves us. Mostert or Swift in the flex. I have CMC and Pollard in the RB spot. She says, thanks. Okay, so what are going to, Jen, you going to start Mostert or Swift? I'm starting Swift because I'm evil.
I'm playing
I like evil
Mostert
running
because he's
backs.
playing the Lions. The Lions have yet to let me down. So
That's
I'm
fair.
playing Mostert.
That's fair. Okay, let's go to the next one here. Kyle Dubois. Very fancy. Kyle's French, obviously. Full PPR, Boyd or Pittman. Worried about the QB change. I would be playing Boyd. It seems like very simple to me. Andrew, how about you?
Yeah. I mean, Kyle, you have a right to be worried about the QB change. It matters a lot. It just makes Pittman much more of a fringy play, whereas Boyd, he's much safer. There's no chase. So he should see a decent target volume here. So yeah, I think it's pretty simple. Go with Boyd.
Hashtag for the Republic. Not sure what that means, but okay. Full point PPR, need two from Gabe Davis, Deontay Foreman, Tyler Boyd, Wandale, or Eno. These are some good options, Andrew. It's good stuff. I like this. But I can only have two of them. So who's number one and who is number two?
Probably going to play Eno. And then I'm just going to play Gabe Davis still. He's just, I don't want to sit 30 points potentially on the bench. I get he could get like 0 because he doesn't get targets, but I just don't want. I'm just going to play Gabe Davis every week and just take my lumps. I don't care.
So you're playing Davis and who? You're playing Foreman?
Eno. Yeah.
I'm playing Foreman. I want Foreman and Davis. I want all the touchdowns and the points.
From the Carolina Panthers.
Yes, it's fine. Well, did he not have 100 yards last week, or did I miss something? Did I not get the memo?
Well, he didn't score any touchdowns last week, so
I know,
I don't know how he's going to get them all this week.
You get one. I've got one touchdown for him, just one. Okay.
Eno scored a touchdown last week, though.
You really want to do this here, don't you? You think you're a tough guy? Yeah? You want to throw down with me? Is that what you want to do? Huh? Cobain? Continue to discuss who Andrew Erickson reminds you of in the comments. So go put your little comments in the little chat. Some people say he's a rock star. Some people say he's a Targaryen. Some people say he's Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love at the same time. If you've got something, you could go ahead and put it on there. And remember, when you do, you could win a jersey. Yay, everyone loves jerseys and free stuff. So go to Fantasy Pros YouTube, go and subscribe. Drop your questions in the chat. And when you drop your questions in the chat, you can win the CD Lamb autograph jersey. Okay, it's really nice. It's from Pristine Auction. It's authentic. Okay? No substitutions here, only the real deals. That's how we roll over here at Fantasy Pros. So we go and do that, and then you can win this jersey. It's quite breathtaking, really. You should look at it. It's unbelievable. So I hope you win, and click the little bell for the notifications as well. Let's get to the next one here. Oh, there it is. Oh, good. Number 88. Look at it. It's magnificent. Andrew Erickson, have you ever seen anything so breathtaking in your entire life?
Yeah, no, I have. When I check out my Guitar Hero scores, all 5 stars. It's absolutely great. All my high scores, breathtaking.
Right. Okay, let's get to the next one here. Jeff Sills, he's got the question. Jeffy boy, Dak or Carr, Pat Fry, because he's cool, because he's too cool, because he really can't spell Fryermuth. Jeff, tell the truth. You don't know how to spell Fryermuth, so you just brought Pat Fry. It's okay. It's a safe place. I want you to be able to admit things here. And then, so Pat Fry or Dallas Goddard. He also couldn't spell Goddard,
Dallas
so he just wrote Dallas God. So Jeff, what I want you to do is I want you to go after this, and I want you to get on the Leap Pad. I want you to do some of the exercises with the spelling. Okay, it's a great little tool. Mini-Me loves the iPad. He loves it. You can get the Leap Pad, Leapfrog, all those things. It's very good. So let's get this. Dak or Carr, first off. Which QB do you want to start?
Derek Carr. Going to start
Derek
Derek
Carr.
Carr against the New
I
Orleans
agree.
Saints.
Okay, and now Patty Fry or Dallas God. Who do you want to start here?
I'm going with Dallas God here.
Dallas God.
Just very concentrated target share between the Eagles. And I'll admit, like, I have trouble. I have trouble spelling Fryermuth.
You have trouble speaking too, I can see.
If
So
yeah, I'm a little. My voice is a little hoarse from last night's show. So but
yeah,
I'm
it's
still
hard
here,
to be
aren't I?
famous. Yes, you're a pro. You're a pro's pro. That's what I always say about you, Andrew Erickson. Nobody could do this except, well, Derek Brown. He could do this too. All right, let's go to another one here. Robert Lavelle has a question. Good morning, Dr. Evil. Where is Mr. Bigglesworth? He's not here, but Mini-Me's here. Look at Mini-Me. He's so adorable. Hello, Mini-Me. Do you like fantasy football? He does. He loves fantasy football. He's a very big fan. So what defense would you pick? The Bills or the Patriots? You like the Bills or the Patriots? I told you, I think I'm still playing the Bills.
I still like the Patriots.
I like the
I may be
Patriots as
a
well.
homer, but I like the Patriots, D.
Yeah, I'm going to play the Bills this week, okay? Have you watched the Packers? It's not good.
Have you watched the
Yeah.
Jets?
I have. I just wonder at a
Bad.
certain point, they're very close. I'm going to go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go. Okay, let's go to Matt Deckard. Gentlemen, I have a small problem. Well, that's not really my problem, is it? I mean, take that up with your genetics. Full PPR, Lockett or Ayuk? Okay, you got to pick one of these guys. Really? You're just casting asunder Tyler Lockett so soon?
I mean, the injury is kind of concerning. He's gone from full participant to limited participant.
Okay.
I mean, look, we could see a bad. Look, it's possible that we could see a bad Geno Smith game. That is possible.
Oh, you think that's possible?
I do.
Yeah. He's been going in the wrong direction, don't you think, the Geno? You think the hype wagon is coming to an end? You think things are starting to close up at midnight for Geno?
I mean, so? he was playing, well above like expectation. So it
Sure.
seemed like it was very difficult for him to continue to sustain that success. And not to say he's just going to like crap the bed and just not be effective or efficient of a quarterback anymore. But I think it's, we can temper expectations and not to expect him to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback like we were all kind of viewing him after his hot start. And then he's going to kind of come back down to earth and be more of a fringe QB1 because he still has good weapons. But if his weapons are hurt, like Lockett, like Metcalf, then you can't be expecting him to put up, fantasy QB1 numbers.
Crap the bed. That's a disgusting metaphor. I just want you to know. I hope you're pleased with yourself. Okay, let's go to King J86. I don't know what he's king of, but I don't really care. Need help, and I tried trading Gabe Davis for Lamb and then Gabe for Amon-Ra, and I've gotten ghosted. That's what the kids say. They like to say things like that. I got ghosted, yo. No cap. What other wide receiver should I go after now? This seems pretty sus to me. Okay.
Pretty sus to me.
Well, this is the way the kids talk, so I'm going to talk like that.
I don't.
So you're going to go.
I mean, those are the guys I would have gone for with Gabe. I mean, look, you don't want to just get rid of Gabe Davis for the sake of getting rid of him. Like he's still like a good player.
What about T. Higgins? Would you do Gabe Davis for T. Higgins? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably in the range that I would aim for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I could really go for a smoke and a pancake right about now. Okay, let's go for some other ones here. Let's go to another question here. Jersey City 99, flex half PPR, Lockett, Pittman, or Deontay Foreman. Andrew Erickson, your thoughts?
Probably Deontay Foreman for me.
Oh, sure. Now you like him. Sure.
Well, against receivers, one's hurt. One of them has a rookie quarterback
Sure.
or a second-year quarterback. I apologize.
Whatevs.
Sam
Okay.
Ellinger. I don't even get his name right.
Odie Lee 123. It's catchy. I like that. That was also on Andrew Erickson's new album, I believe. Odie Lee 123. Is that how you check your mics? Yeah. Odie Lee 123. Yeah, that what you do? You're talking to the microphone like that? Okay.
Well, it's how we're going to be doing it moving forward.
Well, I think you should. I think it's a good practice. Okay.
It usually started with Blue 42. That's how it usually started.
Why does it have to be blue? I don't understand. Why is it always blue 42? Why can't it be green 42? I mean, really. All right, let's go to another one here. Rondell Moore, Curtis Samuel, or Darnell Mooney. Standard league. It's pretty standard, really, this league.
Standard. You're looking for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if I had to bet on which team's going to score the most points, probably the Cardinals. So I would go with Rondale.
Very well. Sean McVay has a question.
Sean McVay? Can we ask him a question?
I know,
Can we
but
ask
I
him
told
how
you, he's full of chunky soup.
How the backfield's going to shake out?
Yeah. Hey, Sean McVay, maybe you should stop eating the chunky soup. Maybe you should start doing a little bit more football stuff, maybe? Okay? Perhaps? I like your little hair toss, by the way. That was a nice move. Good morning, 12 team.
I can't see because it's in my eyes.
Sure. Half PPR, drop Drake London to pick up Malik Willis. And what do you expect from Malik Willis' start? I don't know if I want to go this far. I mean, what are you playing at quarterback? I don't know. That's a problem.
Yeah, it depends on what you're already playing at quarterback. I like my Malik Willis this week. Like, I have Malik Willis in my top 15 because they're playing the league's worst run defense, and he basically...
It's a good play.
He's a rushing quarterback he rushes like a running back. Like, we talked about him during the offseason where
he's not like contact. He's not afraid.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I think that he's a good start this week. I like him more than Ellinger, who I talked about this week, as I liked a decent amount, but I like Malik Willis more. So I would just, I don't know if I would want to draft Drake London though, just like have another quarterback, like whoever his starting quarterback is. Like if he had Garoppolo as his quarterback, I would drop Garoppolo, who has a bye week next week anyway, and play Willis.
Very well. Let's go to Rod Ferg. Dr. Evil flex Pollard or Eno in the half PPR. I'm going with Tony Pollard. Okay. That's where I'm going. Do you agree?
Tony Pollard is my number 1 ranked running back this week.
Number 1. That's great. It's terrific. It's good stuff. I like that. I like where your head's at. I also have him very high. My bold prediction, he was going to finish as a top 3 RB on the week. Very bold prediction. So we'll see if it comes to fruition. Kayla Aloha. Hi, guys. I need one quarterback between Cousins, Geno, and Danny Dimes. My opponent has Lockett, and I'm starting Wandale. I also see rain in the forecast for Seattle. Well, it's Seattle, so it pretty much rains all the time. Okay, so let's go to Cousins, Geno, and Danny Dimes. I'm going with Kirk Cousins against the Arizona Cardinals. I think it's a very good start. Do you agree, Andrew Erickson?
Yes, 100%. Kirk Cousins.
Oh, good. All right. Connor Brennan has an evil question. I like the evil questions. Okay. So for Dr. Evil and his little minion, that's what you are now. You're my little minion. You know, we could have dressed you up as a minion, painted you yellow. Would have been nice.
Done that, yeah.
It's a good look for you. The question is this. Would you just wear the overalls, right? No shirt, right? You would have done the no shirt, right? Because I know
no shirt. I want to put the filter on to make my skin look yellow. So it would have been great.
Right. The filter on to make your skin look yellow. Right. Okay. Let's get to the question here. The question is this. David Montgomery, James Robinson, Alec Pierce, Josh Reynolds. Oh, we did this one. I think they asked it in a different way. I like you, Connor. You're cagey. But we already answered that one. Opie Dopey. Help. First help is drop the Opie Dopey, okay? It's beneath you. Okay, let's get to another. Tyler Lockett or Brandon Ayuk today, and I need a win. Don't we all need wins every week? I mean, what the hell are we doing this for?
I love when they preface it with, I need to win today.
I need to win this week, okay?
Really?
No, I can handle a loss. I'm playing this week to lose. I mean,
hey, some people can be playing to tie. That does happen sometimes. You're like, I can survive a tie. I'm going with Brandon Ayuk.
Ridiculous. I need to win. Everyone needs wins every week. Let's get to the next question. Legs to Terminator. Which one of these, air quotes, insolent meat helmets should I play? Thank you for the toss-up. I appreciate it. Have PPR, Gibson, Khalil Herbert, Michael Carter, Tyler Boyd. Oh
my God. I'm going to play Tyler Boyd.
Okay, that's a good call. Okay, let's go to the next one. Joseph Schroer. Okay. Pittman or Gabe Davis in the full PPR? I don't care. I'm playing Gabe Davis. I love Gabe Davis.
Gabe
Do you
Davis.
agree?
Yes.
Good. Otherwise, I'd call you insolent. Joe, please help. This is from Skilly. It's your boy. Okay. It's Dr. Evil. I could still do it. It's your boy, Dr. Evil. It's the same bit. Okay. Different character, same bit. It's all good. PPR, Wandale or the Brandon Cooks, and then Foreman or Singletary. Well, we know what Andrew Erickson is going to say about Singletary, right?
Correct.
Right. Okay. I'm going to say Foreman, so we're going to disagree on that one. Wandale or Brandon Cooks? I'm going Wandale, not because it's just a fun name, but because all the target share I think he's going to get.
Agreed. Wandale.
Okay. Cool. On the same page, hanging out together. Kevin Fontenot. Good day. Please help me pick 2 in PPR. Foreman, Pittman, Stevenson for my flex. I'm going with the RBs here. How about you, Andrew? I just don't know about the Coats and the passing. I got no idea.
Yeah, take the running backs.
Okay. Mark A. Jones. Which is more evil, having 2 streaming QB options with Mahomes on bye, or full PPR Garoppolo or Andy Dalton? So it's pretty evil choices here.
Dalton
really?
For me. Yeah.
QB 9 3 weeks in a row. Jimmy G, you've got nothing for him. No love whatsoever.
I mean, he's playing the Rams, and he's also
So what?
doesn't
They
have
own
Debo.
the Rams.
Doesn't have Debo.
He's got Christian McCaffrey. Don't you like the CMCs? No.
How good was
Not a
Christian
fan?
McCaffrey for the Panthers quarterbacks?
Well, the
What's
Panthers
that?
quarterbacks are poop. So, you know.
So you think Jimmy G is good?
No, but I don't think he's quite as poop as Baker Mayfield or PJ Walker. No grown man should have 2 initials in his first name, okay? Just pick a name. PJ. You sound like you're 12. Stupid. Okay, let's get to the next one. Kyle Salva. Dr. Evil, should I lock my kids and wife in the bedroom or outside as I enjoy a peaceful football Sunday? Outside is good. Let them run around and get tired, because then when they come back into the house after playing, you can watch the night games while they all fall asleep. So there you go. Also start James Robinson or Darrell Henderson.
Man. Don't want to start Henderson, but he's still the starter, so I'm going to go with Henderson.
Probably right. It's going to be a long day. Maybe you should go outside too, Kyle, take a walk. Okay, with those choices. Let's go to Stephen Martins. Super deep, full PPR. Super deep. Look at all the leagues I play in. It's a 14-team league. Good for you. Michael Gallup or Robbie Anderson. It's gross.
I'm probably going to just start Gallup. Hope for the best.
Bold Caballero. Evil, pick 1 flex standard and 12-team league. We've got Damian Harris. We've got Antonio Gibson. I got Romeo Dobbs, Marquise Goodwin, and Darnell Mooney. I don't like any of these. I'll be honest with you. I'd probably go with Gibson, to be honest with you. All right, to keep it real, you know, for shizzle.
Yeah. I go with Gibson too.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's get to the next one here. Mac M-A-K. Terry McLaurin, Darrell Henderson, or Josh Reynolds at flex in the full PPR.
McLaurin.
Yeah, you feel good about it. I don't feel good about it, but it's just the way it looks right now. So
yep.
Right. Okay. So Jeff Blackburn, he's got a question. Morning, gents. Need to fill the last flex spot. Have PPR, Alec Pierce, Paris Campbell, Drake London, Tyquan Thornton, or Khalil Shakir. One
probably
more for the
Drake,
flex.
Probably should have played Drake London because he's the best player of all those guys.
You want to talk about like when the rookies hang out together and they have coffee, right? And the young kids, the backups. Do you think maybe Alec Pierce got some time in the mini camp with Sam E?
That's possible too.
You want to play the narrative?
You can play the narrative,
yes.
But I would probably just lean on the talent. And look, like with the Falcons, every week it's been a different guy that's popped off. Like last week, Demir Bird caught like a 75-yard touchdown. The week before that, Olamide
Right.
Zaccheaus. So
Okay.
theoretically, Drake London could be on the end of one big play the Falcons make in the passing game. So, yeah, I think that's probably what I would just lean towards.
Will Marcus Mariota make it through today? That's a question for me.
I'll say yes.
Shh. Willie? Will he make
Yeah.
it through today? Shh.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep shushing you until I get the answer I want, which is no. All the Desmond Ridder. It's the only way you're going to unlock Kyle Pitts and Drake London. No more Marcus Mariota. Okay? It's bad. It's really bad. Let's go to Rust Cole, Irv Smith, or Mike Gesicki in the half PPR. Who do you want to pick from these two tight ends?
Irv Smith.
Okay, let's go to Wesley Spurlock, 10-team full PPR, DeAndre Swift or Devin Singletary for my RB2. Now, look, you seem like a sane person to me, Andrew Erickson. You still have to start DeAndre Swift, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was going to throw you right off the show here. It's bad enough you didn't know who Courtney Love was earlier. Do you live in a cave? I don't understand these things. Who should I throw in my tank for Mutant Seabass? Instead of Mutant Seabass, I would like to throw Russell Wilson in there because I think he's terrifying. I think he's imbalanced, and I think he is potentially really scary. He's scaring me in fantasy and in real life. So I don't need any sharks with laser beams. I just need Russell Wilson doing high knees in a pool. I think that would do it. It's pretty intimidating. Let's go to the next one here. Ndod. It's a lot. It's Ndod 9. Need 2 flex. PPR, Woods, Claypool, Dobbs, Gibson, or Michael Carter. And he says, thank you.
Carter and Claypool for me.
Really? I'm going Carter and Gibson, okay? Just trying to take the touches. Like the touches. Okay, go to Brian Lafort. He's got a question. Pickens or Deontay in the PPR? Who do you want?
Deontay's better in Deontay actually is like okay in PPR because he does catch a lot of passes, but he just doesn't get any yards. So I think I'd lean toward. If this was half PPR, I would go with Pickens, but PPR, I'll stay with Deontay.
Now, we've been doing this for almost a whole hour, so if you haven't already liked the stream, I mean, it's literally like the least you can do. I mean, think about all the work we do, the hours we put in, and all you have to do is just tap the thumb with your finger. You can even put your thumb on the thumb, whatever floats your boat. Okay? But like the stream. Okay? Yay, Fantasy Pros, like the stream. We appreciate you. I love you. I heart you. Okay, let's get to more of your questions here and not forget about the people because we're the show of the people after all. Brian DeFort, Pickens or Deontay Johnson in the PPR? You got to choose a Steeler. So who do you want to choose, Andrew? I like Pickens.
In the full PPR or half PPR?
He just says PPR. He
Yeah,
doesn't say which one.
I'm going to go with Deontay.
I assume it's full if you say PPR. That's what I assume. Do you assume? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let's go to Justin Pearson. Justin Pearson says you look like a homeless guy. That's who you
How do you know he's
like.
not talking about you?
Once again, after the show, you and me, HR, long talks. Okay, let's go to Robert Lavelle again. Andrew reminds me of that Lady and the Tramp, but just missing the black strips. So the Lady and the Tramp.
Isn't that a movie about dogs?
I think he's saying you look like Cruella. I think that's what he's saying. Little Cruella de Vil.
That's not the same
Would you
movie.
like to make a? No, it's not. I think that's what he was going for, though. He was mixing his Disney movies. Okay, Robert's been out all night, having the cocktails.
The zombie.
I think he's saying you look like Cruella. Do you like Dalmatians? Are you a big fan? Yes.
It's okay.
Okay. All right. Looks like Moishe Levy. Andrew actually looks like Dr. Evil's son. Scotty don't. Okay. Okay. Let's go to Mark A. Jones. Andrew looks like Meg Ryan playing the role of Karen. That's a good one. I like that one. That could be a winner. Can we give him a jersey? Troy, can we give this man a jersey? Mark A. Jones, very good. Which is more evil? We already answered this question, but that's a good one. All right, let's get to another one here. Dr. Evil and Andrew Targaryen want to know, and this is from Dabriel. Dabriel, really? That's your name? You're going to stick with Dabriel? Okay. Dabriel Hand, Goddard or Fryermuth? And he spelled both wrong.
Goodert.
So
Goodert.
Goodert or Fryermuth. Okay, let's
Goodert.
go to another one here. Big Gucci. Big Gucci Price 334. Y'all rocking with Goff or Daniel Jones today?
I'm going with Danny Dimes.
I'm with you. I've had it with the Jared Goff. I'm not a fan. Okay, let's go to Regander. I don't know what a Regander is, but okay. Tyler Boyd or Devontae Smith. This one's pretty close for me. Is it close for you, Andrew?
I'm going with Devontae still.
Still. Yeah. Okay. Tyler Boyd was pretty good last week. No pause in there at all? No?
I mean, Devontae Smith had a bye week, so all things
Touche.
considered, he was pretty good too.
Touche. Frenzy 40K. Hi, guys. Half PPR. Swift or Mostert? I'm still starting Swift. He's fast. I like running backs with names that imply their speed, like Swift. I don't know what a Mostert is, but it's not fast. Okay. Andrew, your thoughts?
Raheem Mostert's pretty fast. So
He's not Swift, though. No matter what you say, he isn't Swift.
He is not Swift. That is a fact.
Okay.
He is
There
not
you
Swift.
go.
But I'm still going Mostert.
Okay, let's go to the next one here. Andrew Scott, good morning. Wan'Dale Robinson or George Pickens in the flex. Half PPR, and he says, thank you. Wan'Dale seems safer to me, Andrew. You like the safe option, or you want to swing for the fences with the Pickens?
I'm going to take the safe option with Rondale or Wan'Dale. I just said Rondale. That's a different guy.
That's because you had a speech impediment earlier. Okay, Dylan, full PPR, roll the dice on DK Metcalf or stream Mooney, Dobbs, Goodwin, Slayton, or Rondale Moore.
I would probably just start Rondale Moore.
I agree. That's 2 for 2. Okay. Bunny, in a 10-team PPR, would you play Devonta Smith or Brandon Ayuk, knowing that Debo is out? I think I still play Devonta. That's what I do.
Yeah,
I like the Devonta.
Yeah.
Ayuk is too up and down. It's too hit and miss. Okay. All right, let's get to the Vigilante Trail. Non-PPR, can only pick 2. Wan'Dale, Amon-Ra, Olave, Gabe, and throw me a freaking bone here, he says. So I'm going to throw you a bone. This is an easy one, okay? I'm starting Olave, okay? And I'm going to start Gabe Davis, okay? That's what I want to do. I'm a little worried about the other guys being hurt. Now, look, if you want to go the other way, I understand. But what do you want to do here, Andrew? You just want to play it safe with Wan'Dale and Amon-Ra?
I would probably play Amon-Ra and Olave.
Amon-Ra and Olave. So you're going to split the difference. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Why
don't you do that?
I mean, Amon-Ra's injury is it was like a concussion. So, I mean, obviously you can get another concussion, but it's not like he has like a nagging ankle injury or something like that. So,
no, but another blow to the head. Next thing you know, he's out there in the blue tent.
Anybody that gets a blow to the head is going to be knocked out of the game. So.
Well, of course. But sometimes when you have one, you're more likely to get another one, and that's when they get the blue tent.
But you're not more likely to get hit in the head.
Blue tent. I like the blue tents. It's very secretive. I don't know what's going on in there, and I want to know. They keep me guessing.
You don't.
Matt, start 1. Jonathan Taylor, Ramondre Stevenson, or Raheem Mostert in the full PPR. Are you going to sit Jonathan Taylor? You're really going to do that?
Yeah, I think so.
You're going to sit for who? Who are you going to sit him for?
Ramondre and Mostert. Oh, I got to start one of them? Oh,
you can only start one.
Stevenson. I'm sorry.
I think I still play Jonathan Taylor. I think he gets a lot of carries this week. Okay, that's what I think.
Those other guys get a lot of carries too.
David Lowenstein says, love you guys. We love you, David. 1 open wide receiver spot in full PPR. Which receiver should you start? Marquise Goodwin, Josh Reynolds, Darnell Mooney, or Michael Gallup? It's quite a conundrum. I think you start the Goodwin and you hope that the good times keep rolling. That's what I hope.
Yeah, Goodwin seems kind of point chasing. I think I might chase the total in Lions Dolphins with Reynolds.
That's fair. Okay, Caden, pick 3. Amon-Ra, Dalvin Cook, Tony Pollard, Ramondre Stevenson, the full PPR. You can only pick the 3 guys. You got Amon-Ra, Dalvin, Tony Pollard, Ramondre. Who is the odd man out, Andrew?
Dalvin.
Ooh, that's a lot. That's a spicy meatball. That's what that one was.
It's the reality we live in. It's like you can't bench Pollard. You can't bench Amon. I don't think you should bench Amon-Ra. And then I think Stevenson is the lead bell cow for the Patriots. So
you could name a Nirvana song, right? You can at least do that, right?
Yeah,
you know who Kurt Cobain
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Okay,
yeah.
Name a second one that's not names like Smells Like Teen Spirit. Okay,
Heart-shaped box.
Okay, good. Just want you to name.
Golden Guitar Hero.
It's going to be a long, long morning. Okay, let's go to Mr. Filthy Wubs. Lazard rest of season PPR. It's just a question mark. I don't know what that means. I'm worried because his shoulder's ouchy. So I'm worried. But what are you going to do with Lazard? You got to hold him. You can't trade him right now.
Yeah, you can't trade him. But
would you drop him for Wandale? I think you could do that. You could do that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
You could drop for the
look,
Wandale.
Like Wandale is on the up and up, ascending, whereas Green Bay could add another receiver before the trade deadline. That's possible. So that would hurt Lazard, and he's injured. So, yeah, I mean, look, the injury optimists has not really worked this year. If like you traded off guys right after they got hurt, like you were better off. So if you can move Lazard for somebody better right now, I would do it.
Laura and Jim Cooperman, clearly they can't spend any time apart from each other. They even own a YouTube account together. Space people, okay? Need a PPR, need one at the flex. Darius Slayton, Traquan Smith, or Khalil Herbert. Those are your choices.
I'm going to start Khalil Herbert because I just think he's good.
Agreed.
So.
Jamison, Woodruff, Cooks, Pittman, or Deontay Johnson in the half. Probably need the upside if that matters. Does it matter? Oof. Cooks, Pittman, Deontay. I don't know if there's any upside there. Maybe Pittman?
Yeah, I think I'd roll the dice with Pittman and just hope that
unknown.
He gets unlocked. Because Deontay doesn't have a lot of upside, and Cooks probably doesn't have that much upside either. So you could spin the narrative that Ellinger is better than Matt Ryan. Maybe that happens. Who knows?
That's a hot take. That's spicy.
It is spicy.
I like it. I like where your head's at, Erickson. Okay, let's go to Ashton Kruger. Good morning. Stash Dylan or Khalil Herbert. Which one you want to stash? You want to keep him away? Man. Which one?
Dylan has just played so bad this year.
Right. He's very disappointing. I'm not going to lie.
I guess like Herbert has a better chance of actually taking over the backfield, even without a David Montgomery injury. So if I had to pick one, I think I would pick Herbert.
Okay. What the other thing you could pick, obviously, is you should always pick Bettle. It's the only fantasy platform that lets you use your season-long teams to win money every single week. So sync your squad and create a match and win cash. Perhaps $1 million. I don't know, but you could win money. You already know your fantasy team is the best, and now you can prove it. Import your season-long lineup to challenge teams across Bettle's entire network. It's quite breathtaking, and weekly matchups for real money. So go ahead, take the leap, and put yourself out there. That's what you got to do nowadays. Put yourself out there. And new users get a $25 wager when you sign up at bettle.co. That's pretty good. That's a good deal. I like that deal. So $25 wager, you sign up at bettle.co. That's bettle.co. And then you can download the app to the Apple or the Android store and go play some Bettle. Sounds like a good time. Look at it. It's pretty nice. I like the logo too. It's good. All right, let's get to Greedy's question. Happy Halloween from Jordan. Hello, Greedy. PPR Flex League spot, please. 1. Tyler Algier, Jamal Williams, Brian Robinson, or Drake London.
I'm going to go with Brian Robinson.
Just take an easy way out. I like it.
It's the right
Brendan Chapman, Machine Gun Kelly, and Dr. Evil. Oh, there you go. There you go. You're Machine Gun Kelly. I like that. Do you have a lot of tattoos? Yeah?
No. I am.
Yeah. How's your hot girlfriend? Yeah? She's a little crazy. It's kind of hot, but she's a little crazy, seems like.
Zeno Benjamin.
Just say. So who do you want here? Thielen or Zeno?
Zeno Benjamin. I like that. I'm going with Zeno Benjamin.
Yeah, Zeno. I can understand that, getting more touches. I like the touches. Jesse Sortberg, half PPR trade Fournette and Garrett Wilson. Well, I don't know what that means. For what? I mean, what are we going here?
Are you trading? I would not trade Fournette for
what the hell are you
Wilson.
Getting?
Probably not.
I don't understand. I'm not trading Fournette for Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
If you put those two guys together, I don't know what you get. Not much. That would be my guess. Dalton Witt. Mr. Cobain, rest of season, do I drop Wilson and pick up Mariota or Garoppolo?
Which Wilson?
I believe Russell Wilson, because it's a quarterback question.
Well, okay. Zach could be Zach Wilson.
Well, if we're rostering him, we're in trouble already. Not from the no, because if it was Zach Wilson, Mariota and Garoppolo wouldn't be on the wire, because then it would be a super flex. Okay. Single QB.
I mean, they're all like bad options. I don't know. I guess
you pick up Garoppolo QB9 every single week.
He has a bye week
ugly,
next week,
but it's points.
He has a bye week.
So you pick him up
so you can't even play him.
Oh, so you can't pick. So you're screwed. Okay. That's basically right now, Dalton. You're screwed. Okay, you just gotta go take your lumps. You deal with it. Garoppolo going forward though. Today you probably already started Wilson because he's playing this morning. So obviously you're not happy with the outcome. I don't know the score. I haven't looked at it. Do you know the score? What the DL? What do the kids say? What's the haps?
I do not know, but I do know that So we got an update from.
You've got a
so Dar-
million mobile devices related to football apps in front of you, and you can't tell
So
me a freaking
so
score. You can't throw me a freaking bone with a freaking score in the freaking London game.
they just got back from halftime.
So there's a score.
I'm working
It
on
is
it.
so hard to find good help these days, isn't it, Mini-Me? Yes, it is. It's so hard to find good help. Mini-Me knows. Mini-Me always knows. Good, Mini-Me. Good. Okay.
Darrell Williams is active though for the Cardinals, so that's interesting.
Well, there you have it. Okay, let's go to Tommy D. Full PPR. Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Kamara, or Dalvin Cook. Thanks. He's got to drop one. What the hell are you doing? Why are you dropping one of these guys?
He has to drop some. Dude, I'm not dropping. I'm dropping a defense. I'm dropping a kicker. I'm literally gonna have an illegal
Can't do that.
roster. I'm not dropping any of these guys.
What the hell kind of was this? A 4-team league? What the hell are you doing here? Nasty FN. Hill, Gesicki, or Robert Tunyon. You have tight ends to choose from. Andrew Erickson. Choose wisely.
Probably gonna start Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. David Seaman. It's an unfortunate last name, David. I hate tight ends. Okay. Taysom or Irv? Is it Taysom here too? Yeah.
No, Irv.
Oh, you're gonna go with the big Irv. All right,
Yeah.
big man going with the big Irv. Let's go to Christine Ideong. What's up, fellas? Nervous to start the second quarterback in my flex, but to have a handful of RBs I'm considering. Start Rodgers and Goff, or Rodgers and Goff and Eno, Derrick Henry, or Damian Pierce. I'm a little confused, Andrew. Can you parse this one for me? Because I don't quite understand what we're doing here. I'm starting Derrick Henry. I'm starting Damian Pierce and Eno Benjamin. And I'm just going to pick one quarterback. I'm just going to pick Goff because Aaron Rodgers, the cheese has gone bad. Okay. The cheese has gone bad.
Yeah, I agree.
Here you go. Ryan Jones, Erickson, Victoria Beckett. Oh, I think he means Victoria Beckham. I think he was close. Yes, maybe that's who you are. Maybe Victoria Beckham. You are
I don't know who
Spice
that
Girl.
is either.
You know the Spice Girls are, right?
Okay, I know who the Spice Girls are. I didn't know that.
She's the posh one. Yeah? So tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I want a zig a zig ah. Have you ever zig a zig odd?
Question.
Well, that's the real question. Have you ever zig a zig odd before? You should. It's quite fun.
I feel like that could be painful.
It is, but it's worth it. Okay, let's go to the next question here. He's got, where is it? 10-point PPR, Pittman, Algier, B-Rob, need 2.
I'm going to start the running backs.
Okay. A demand, Amari or Gabe Davis. Those are your 2 choices, Andrew.
I'm going to start Amari.
Really? Over Gabe Davis this week? Really?
Yeah, it's very off-brand of me, but I'm trying to be more open to not hating Amari Cooper's guts.
I don't hate Amari Cooper. I'm just calling it like it is. When Deshaun Watson comes back, I'm going to love him. But not now. Gabe Davis. Carlos A. Munoz Lopez. Deontay Foreman or Michael Carter in the PPR.
Foreman.
Krull the Warrior Princess. Hi, Dr. Evil and Courtney Love. PPR, Superflex, Davis Mills or Tony Pollard. It's Tony Pollard.
Yeah, Tony Pollard.
Don't be silly. Robin Team. Blondie and Evil. Stand out, you're just blonde. Now you're just generic.
Okay. My hair's not even blonde.
I don't know what it is.
It's white.
It's white. Okay. It's very Targaryen with less incest. Okay, let's go to Blondie and Evil. Standard flex, Hunt or Henderson. Well, you can't play Hunt today because he's not going to be doing, or tomorrow because he's not going to be doing much.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to play him when he's not on the team. When he's not on the team, so
well, he could be on the team, but if he's not on the team still, they're going to wait and they're going to hold him. You can hold him tight, like James Robinson last week, who did nothing.
Correct.
So you can't do that. Okay, Justin Robert, full point PPR, flex Aaron Jones, Tyler Boyd, or George Pickens. Slim Pickens here. What do you want to do?
I'm going to flex Aaron Jones.
Okay, Tommy D, full PPR, Jacobs, Kenneth Walker, Kamara, or Dalvin Cook. You asked this again. I don't understand. So we're going to drop in one.
Okay, so if he asks this again, that means he's in the chat. So you got to provide more context. Like we need.
You go drop any of them, okay?
Why can't you make a trade? Trade one of those guys for Jamar Chase. If you got to drop,
you got a question from Fruit. Calm down. It's okay. Shh. It's okay. You want some kibble? You want a little snack? Getting a little hungry? Did you eat your breakfast this morning? Did you have your yogurt?
No.
No?
I'm not a big yogurt person.
I like the yogurt.
I had oatmeal.
regular. It's good.
Some oatmeal and some eggs.
They say the oats are no good for you. I don't know. Every year they say something different. Okay, Bananas wants to know. I actually did have banana this morning, though. I had the cream of wheat in the banana. Good morning,
Cream of
Dr.
wheat.
Evil and Mr. Harry. I don't know, Mr. Harry. Now you're even more generic. You're Blondie. Now you're just Mr. Harry. Full PPR, choose 3. Tony Pollard, Kenneth Walker, and Nick Chubb or Joe Mixon. So somebody's got to be, you got to play Pollard and Walker, and then it's Mixon or Chubb, really.
I guess I'd probably sit Mixon here. It
Wow,
sucks, but
it's tough. It's
I
a
mean,
tough call.
Chubb is just better than all. I mean, Chubb is the best running back out of this group, so I'm just gonna play him. Not really care about, and then it's a good matchup too. So Pollard, got to start him, and Walker, you got to start him. So I guess Mixon.
Dana DePaul has a question. Half-point PPR need to leave one out. Cook, Swift, Benjamin at RB, Amon-Ra, Pittman Jr. at wide receiver. So you're going to bench Cook, Swift, Benjamin. Which one? Who's out?
I guess I could probably bench Benjamin here because Darrell Williams is playing, so that might change up his role potentially a little bit. And then of the receivers, just bench Pittman.
Okay. Don't forget, everyone, there's plenty of time to win jerseys and things. The CD Lamb jersey, we're giving it away. Just be a subscriber of Fantasy Pros, and you can get the CD Lamb jersey. It's yours. There it is. Look at it. It's beautiful. It's quite breathtaking. And it's yours from pristineauction.com. It's a good place. So what you have to do, they tell me you subscribe to Fantasy Pros, and then you drop a question in the chat, a question or a comment or something like that. And then you turn the bell on for notifications, and then just like that, you could win the jersey. It could be yours. So go ahead and do it if you like jerseys. I know you do. And don't forget, too, to like the stream because we're working really hard here, okay? Really overtime working. Okay, let's get to more questions here. We've got one from, let's see, Angel Soto. Ken Walker or Stevenson, the half PPR. It's got to be Ken Walker, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right. Okay. Gordon Bombay. Hey, Andrew, Sutton or Cup? I'll sit this one out. Half PPR, Sutton or Cup? I think he's trolling you because it's, first of all, Sutton's already playing. Second of all, I think he's trolling you. Melon with 2 N's. That's a lot of N's. I think it's one too many. One too many. Okay. Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields, and Taylor Heineke. Pick 2. I'm taking Fields and the Heineke. No Aaron Rodgers for me, thanks. I'm good. I'm all full. Andrew?
You're gonna play Heineke?
I'm not touching Aaron Rodgers anymore. The point
I mean,
totals are gross. Okay?
I'm gonna play Aaron Rodgers over Taylor Heineke. Like,
it's fine. It's your funeral, pal. Okay, let's go to Vince, full PPR. Adam Thielen, Deontay Johnson, or Brian Robinson. Pick 2.
Thielen and Robinson.
That's correct. Brandon Allo, Lamb or DJ Moore in the full PPR.
Lamb.
That's also correct. John Moreno, Kareem Hunt, or Khalil Herbert.
Herbert.
Ayuk or Pittman.
Ayuk.
Also correct. Austin Storms. That's quite an evil name, Austin. I like it. It's good. Austin Storms would like to know Tyler Algier or Michael Carter. Start 1 in the half PPR.
Algier.
Really? I'm surprised. I thought you'd go with the Michael Carter.
It's half PPR, so.
That's fair. James Anil, Deontay Johnson or Brandon Cooks. Full PPR, 12-teamer.
Deontay. Okay.
Joseph Kowalski, props for not wavering with the Act Joe. I'd go insane. Okay. Do I Najee Harris or do I Deontay Foreman? Happy Halloween. I don't know who this Joe fellow is that you're talking about, but he seems pretty cool. So Najee or Deontay, what you want to do, homie?
I think I have him ranked like back to back. You're gonna say Foreman, right?
I will say Foreman.
Yeah. All right, Foreman. Foreman for me.
So there you have it. It's easy peasy. Aaron Milner, fellas, what to do? I gave to drop 1. I think you gave to drop 1. That English is poor. I think it's have to. Okay. I have to drop 1 for a kicker. Gus, Eno, Lazard, Metcalf, Mike Williams, Najee, Tyler Boyd. Seems like you need some little IR spots. Seems that's what you need. I'm dropping Lazard because I think that's probably the easiest one to do. What do you think?
I agree.
Okay. It's tough, though. I would get out of the Mike Williams business ASAP. Okay? Not good. Early Bird 78. Do I start Burrow in the cold Cleveland rain without Chase or Geno at home against the Giants?
I'm pretty sure, isn't it raining in Seattle too?
It's always raining in Seattle. Okay?
So I'm going to start Joe Burrow.
Great. Sean Donahue, Question for Dr. Evil. Sharks with freaking laser beams in their heads or a volcano filled with liquid hot magma? That's a tough one. I like both of those things. It's kind of hard to disseminate between them. I'm going to go with the liquid hot magma. It's good. It's hot. It's a good time. Ian Taylor, Foreman or Miles Sanders? That's your question.
Miles Sanders.
Okay. John Peterson, throw me a bone here. Pitts or Fryermuth? I think you have to start Fryermuth, right?
Patty Fry.
Okay. Kyle Pitts, going to do anything? No? Yes? Anytime?
Probably
Someday?
not. I mean,
Perhaps. Okay.
Is Mariota going to throw all the ball more than 15 times?
Probably not.
Yeah. So
Desmond Ridder, all the way. Let's go. It's time for a change. This country needs change, and the Atlanta Falcons need change, and the change is Desmond Ridder. Okay. All right. Let's get to the next one here. Chase the line. Better looking Dr. Evil and anime pop star. Oh, that's good. Oh, yes, the anime pop star. I like that one. That's a good one. I like that one. So I'm starting Hawkinson or Higbee for the tight end this week. Which one do you want to start? Hawkinson or the Higbee?
Higbee.
Okay, the Higbee. Cobra Cola. Sounds dangerous. Okay, the Jets defense or the Titans defense in the PPR league. I'm taking the Titans. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you love the Titans defense, so
I love them.
Titans.
I would snuggle them under a warm blanket next to a fire with a nice glass of Merlot. That's what I would do. I love them so much. Why don't you play a little song for us here on the way out?
Little acoustic action.
Sure. About how bad Kyle Pitts has been this year. Disappointing. Pitts has been the Pitts.
Yeah. It's very sad.
Okay, moving on. Naseem Ishak. Here's a question. Ayuk or Foreman in the half PPR flex play? Which one do you want to do? I'm doing Foreman. I'm taking all the touches. I want the touches.
Foreman.
Okay, here's another Foreman question. Ernie Torres, Wershing, Deontay Foreman or Brandon Cooks in the flex PPR? I want Foreman there too.
Foreman.
Okay, see, Foreman's a good pick. See, now you're coming around. Hochspinel. And I'm not exaggerating it. That's literally how it's spelled. Hochspinel. Pick 2. Lockett, Gabe Davis, or Eno in the PPR. Thanks, boys.
Gabe and Eno.
Okay, there you have it. Justin Robert. Joe is killing the Dr. Evil. Andrew is a decent Carol Channing. Andrew has no idea who that is. If you think he didn't know who Courtney Love is, well, I'm pretty sure that he has no idea who Carol Channing is. I want you to Google Carol Channing when you have a moment. Okay, Erickson? And then maybe that's a good one, though. Nice job, Just Robert. Okay, let's go to Adam Bland. Also a very unfortunate last name. Thank you, guys, for the expert advice these past weeks. Half PPR, Pittman or Gabe Davis?
Gabe Davis.
Blake P. actually looks like Dr. Evil. And yes, I do look. I didn't have to do anything either. I just changed my clothes. That's all I had to do. Nothing going. Matthew McEwen, Najee or Brandon Cooks for the full PPR?
Najee.
Aman Honda. Urgent help, please. 2 questions. Half PPR, Waller out, Logan Thomas or Foster Moreau at tight end?
I'm actually going to play Logan Thomas here. Foster Moreau, like, the Saints matchup is so horrible. Like, they've just destroyed tight ends all year long. Like, even good tight ends. So I think I just hope that Logan Thomas isn't hurt and he's healthy and that he'll play a full-time role.
So Aman has a second question. Is Darrell Henderson, Antonio Gibson, Allen Robinson the second, Romeo Doubs, Michael Carter at the flex? It's a lot of choices. So who do you want to choose into this muck?
Going with Carter.
They're pretty bad.
Carter.
Yes. Okay. Chris Russo. Happy spooky season.
Spooky.
Pretty standard league. Eno or Brian Robinson? What you want to do?
Brian Robinson.
With the B-Rob?
The B-Rob.
Everyone's B-Rob and A-Rod and all that stuff. Are you E-Rod? No?
No.
Okay, good. All right, let's go to Mike Burdowski. After today's performance, what do we do with Sutton? Oh, I don't know, Andrew. You want to check the box score for me? Yeah, maybe on one of the apps?
Probably don't, actually.
Things would be better for you if you had my playbook. If you had my playbook, you get all of your custom things sent right to your phone at any moment. You want to dominate your leagues? Huh, pal? Is that what you want to do? Well, you go ahead, you get my playbook, you download that bad boy, put it right on your mobile device. Apple Store, Android Store, all the stores. It gives you news, rankings, analysis, tells you how bad Cortland Sutton did. All of those things at fantasypros.com/myplaybook. So download the app now or go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook. And then you have the opportunity to go ahead and dominate your leagues. Andrew Erickson, would you like an update on perhaps how bad Cortland Sutton was today? You want to
Sure.
know? I'll
Yeah,
pull
I'm
that
trying
up
to
in a
check right
second.
now.
Well, I think we should. I think we should know. I think we should find out. At a certain point, you have to say,
He's got 1 catch for 13 yards.
well, that's pretty bad.
I said I like Judy more this week. I said that on the show.
And how's
So,
he doing? How's he doing here
I
with the
mean,
football?
I have to imagine he's doing better than Sutton is.
It's hard to do worse. It's hard to do
That is
worse.
true.
Let's look
But
at the stats here. Here we go. Jerry Jeudy, 6 catches for 63 yards and a touchdown. That's much better.
okay,
It's much
there you
better.
go.
Cortland
There you
Sutton,
go.
1 catch, 13 yards, 3 targets. Not great.
Yep.
Not great. Okay, let's
not
get to
great.
the next one here. Let's go to. So let's answer Mike's question. What do you do with Cortland Sutton now? You drop him. You know, drop him like a bad habit.
I wouldn't drop him
You bench
because they
him.
play the Titans and Raiders after the bye week. Those are 2 really good
so you
teams.
trade for him, get more Cortland Sutton.
You could just wait for him to get dropped. Pick him up.
Racing Vendola, Derek Carr, Daniel Jones. I'm going with Carr. How about you?
Derek Carr.
And McLaurin, Foreman, or Pollard? It's got to be Pollard, right? I mean, this is easy.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing here? It's got to be Pollard. You almost got broed by Dr. Evil. Don't get broed by Dr. Evil. That's bad. Bro.
Bruh.
Terry McLaurin over Tony Pollard today?
No.
Bro.
Pollard over everybody. He's my number 1 player.
All the Pollard, all the time. Okay, let's continue on. Ben Bird has a question. It's a pretty standard league, really. Khalil, Herbert, Gallup, or Dorsett. Start 1. I'm starting Khalil. How about you?
Yeah, I'm starting Khalil.
Okay, sounds good. Let's get to the next one here. Nasim Hishak, Ayuk, or Foreman to have PPR. And they say thank you.
Ayuk.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go to JM Designs, Curtis Samuel or Wandale Robinson.
Wandale.
Wandale, okay, it's good. I like the Wandale. It's just fun to say. Durf Fred, Shaggy. Oh, that's good. That's Scooby-Doo reference. I like the You like the Scooby snacks there, Andrew? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You're
Shaggy would
big
be
fan
a
of
good
the
one.
Scooby
Yeah.
snacks. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you hang out in a van with a bunch of friends. Yeah, go around solve mysteries. It's also a good one.
Solving the mystery of Cortland Sutton.
I still think Victoria Beckham is the way to go. I think that's my favorite of all the funny things people have said you are today. I think it's good. Okay, let's get to the question here, if there is one. It is PPR, Metcalf, Paris, or London. It's funny because both of those things are cities.
That is true.
It's true.
Man, do you just roll the dice with Metcalf and hope that he's going to play like healthy? Or, I mean, Paris and London, I'm kind of like, I guess I'd probably roll with Metcalf. I don't know. Do you have a lean? That one's tough.
I don't think he's healthy, so that's my problem. But I'd live and die with DK.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. Cramdion 1969. Good morning. Hopkins or St. Brown? Ooh, that's a toughie. I like Hopkins.
Yeah, Hopkins is fine.
All the Hopkins. Christopher E. Good morning. Full PPR, super flex. My second QB, Dak or Goff. I'm playing Dak.
Yep.
Okay.
Dak.
Enough with the Jared Goff business. Okay, let's get to the next one here. James Plath, number 2. That's how my team has been playing. It's funny. I like it. It's a little play on words. Okay, let's go to PPR flex. Drake London, Wandale Robinson, or Curtis Samuel.
Wandale.
Good job there, Kurt Cobain. Robert D. Regil, have PPR, Henderson or Drake London. You have a choice here, Andrew. Who do you want to pick?
London.
Sounds very good. Richard Mendoza, Romeo Dobbs or Wandale in the standard. It's pretty standard. It's the Wandale.
I'm going Wandale. And actually, I think, Wandale.
No Packers. Okay? Eliminating the Packers. They're dead to me. DTM. That's the kids. That's what they like to say. Things like the DTM. You know? Hit me up on my phone. You hit me up. It will go hang out later. Get some ice cream. You're sus. That's what they say. They say these things. Okay, let's get to Marcus Aguilar. Pick 2, Foreman, Swift, Eno, or PPR format.
Probably Swift.
I'm taking the Foreman and the Swift. That's what I
like Swift and Eno.
Eno's tricky. But sometimes he knows good, and sometimes he knows not good. That's my problem with the Eno. It's hit and miss. I don't like the hit and miss at the Eno. Billy Boy, half PPR, Dimes or Murray, Flex, Swift, Eno, or Wandale. Those are your choices.
Murray and Swift.
Yes, agreed. Let's move on to the next one here. Andrew Matthews, PPR, Metcalf, or Algier in the flex. Thanks, fellas.
I will go with Algier.
He's safer, that's for sure. Okay. Henry Marcus, morning, fellers, Foreman, or Carter in the PPR. Please help. It's
I'm
Foreman.
going to go with Foreman.
Don't overthink things, okay? Also, remember, this stream should be liked at all times. So if you haven't already, what the hell are you doing? Go like the stream because we dressed up for you for Halloween and hope everyone has a nice trick or treat time. But like the stream, okay? Please. Like it if you think that he looks like Courtney Love. I want you to like it if Andrew Erickson looks like Kurt Cobain or Posh Spice, okay? Or Shaggy. He's also gotten many, many things. He's a man of many faces. That's why I like Andrew Erickson. I also like Bettle, the sponsor of today's show. So Bettle's the only fantasy platform, remember. It lets you use your season-long teams to win money every single week. Sync your squad, create a match, and win cash. You already know your fantasy team is the best, and now you can prove it. So import your season-long lineup to challenge teams across Bettle's entire network to weekly matches for real money. You could win $1 million. That's not true. I don't know how much you could win. It's just a nice number. So go ahead and take the leap and put yourself out there. New users get a free $25 wager when you sign up at bettle.co. That's BETTLE.co. And when you download their app, it's magnificent. It's quite breathtaking. Apple and Android device. So there you go. Don't forget, we're giving away jerseys, CD Lamb. So stick with us. All you have to do is be a subscriber, like the stream. It's good times. We'll try to get one more question out here before we switch gears. Tera Roberts is going to take it over from me. She is not dressed up for Halloween, that I believe, but that's okay. She's probably going to give you good advice anyway. So stick with her. Okay, let's go to some of the next one here. Clayton Otis, Wandale, or Tyler Boyd in the full PPR, Evil and Cobain. Where's Courtney? We don't know, and Andrew has no idea who Courtney Love is. Okay,
Correct.
so which way do you want to go, Wandale or Boyd? I'm going Boyd here.
Boyd.
There you have it. So that will do it for us, for Fantasy Pros. We hope you enjoyed the live stream. It's been very evil, more evil than it's been before. So for Courtney Love or Kurt Cobain or Posh Spice or Shaggy or Aemon Targaryen, whatever the things are that you think Andrew might be here today, for him and all those people and our good friend Troy and Mini-Me, I want you to have a happy Halloween and enjoy your football and enjoy Tera Roberts, who's coming up next. Okay, Mini-Me, let's go have a snack.
So I am sorry about that, guys. I realized that I was on mute as I'm sitting here talking to you and explaining how I have no costume today. So I am slacking. I'm on mute. I have no costume. I have no accent. Yeah, I am so sorry to disappoint all of you, as Joe mentioned, but I am here. I'm here and I'm ready to take your questions. And yeah, it's going to be a fantastic day. We've got our London game going. We are ready to go for these noon games in the next hour or so. Very excited. Before we get started, I did want to mention Bettle. It is the only fantasy platform that lets you use your season-long team to win money every week. Sync your squad, create a match, and win cash. You already know that your fantasy team is the best, so, just go ahead and now you can prove it. Import your season-long lineups to challenge teams across Bettle's entire network to weekly matches for real money. So go ahead, take the leap, put yourself out there. New users get a free $25 wager when you sign up at bettle.co. That's Bettle, BETTLL.co. And when you download their app to your Apple or Android device. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump in here. with some questions. I am not sure where they left off, but just to make sure that I didn't miss the last one from Clayton, Otis, Waller, or Wandale, or Tyler Boyd. We are going with Tyler Boyd for sure. Question from Paul Lapp, full PPR, Olave or Lamb. I like this one because Olave is creeping up aggressively in my rankings. I love Chris Olave. It is a fantastic matchup for New Orleans. We saw how Davis Mills treated the Las Vegas team last week. It was awful. They don't have a really good defense, and I have pretty decent confidence that Andy Dalton can exploit them in the same way, and Chris Olave would be the big beneficiary there because he's the only receiver left. There's no Michael Thomas. There is no Jarvis Landry. That is it. I mean, of course, we've got Traquan Smith and Marcus Callaway that, will participate and give me some low-end options, but Chris Olave is going to be that dude today. So Chris Olave is who I would go with over CeeDee Lamb. Dallas might rely a little bit on the run today. Question from Luis Rodriguez. Need help, full PPR, flex, Singletary, or Foreman? That is a very good question because Devin Singletary, he's one of those guys where 1 week he can get you 20 points, next week he can get you like 5 or 6. And the reason is because, unfortunately, when the Bills are in close matchups, that's when we know for sure that it's going to be a solid game from Devin Singletary. They'll rely on him. They'll use him on the ground. There'll be a more diverse offense. And when they get into those matchups that are those blowout victories, they air it out a ton. We see Josh Allen and all of the receivers getting fantastic points, and Devin Singletary is just kind of left behind. And then he does not get to do the cleanup duty that you would expect. You say, okay, blowout. Running back is going to get work in the second half, fourth quarter especially. But unfortunately, that does not happen with Devin Singletary. They turn it over to a guy like James Cook to kind of carry it through the fourth quarter. So looking at that matchup for the Bills in Green Bay, unfortunately, their defense, I just don't see where they can be competitive. Their defense has been very exploitable. Their offense has been a major problem. This game just screams blowout. If Green Bay is able to keep up with Buffalo, it will be a Halloween miracle, and I don't think that it's going to happen. So I think that Devin Singletary is going to have a bad day, unfortunately. So I would go with Donta Foreman as the lead back for the Carolina Panthers in a good matchup. All right, next question from Brandon Earl. Start both Swift and Jamal Williams in full PPR. I would like to know who your other options are on bench, but it's not the worst strategy in the world because we do know that there are going to be significant points scored in that game for Detroit and Miami. It's got last time I checked, it had the highest over-under of the game. It might have been adjusted a little bit, of the slate. Might have been adjusted a little bit. But we should get a lot of points out of that, and therefore, we should see a lot of work out of DeAndre Swift. I feel very confident in starting him this week, but what we have seen in the past is that when they get to the goal line, they sub out Swift for Jamal Williams, and Jamal Williams gets those goal line opportunities, and so it does make him relevant in fantasy. So if that's the direction that you want to go, kind of guaranteeing that you lock up those points that Detroit should have against the poor Miami defense, I don't hate it that much. If you have another option that you can go with over Jamal Williams, I might do that, but it's not the worst strategy in the world. Question from Adam Jordison. Kittle or Goddard today in a standard league? That one is tough because they both have very valid reasons for starting one over the other. Kittle, obviously, big valid reason. Deebo Samuel is out. Goddard, big valid reason. Pittsburgh is terrible. So they both have, good opportunities. Obviously, it's a little bit tougher matchup for Kittle, but I lean towards going with Kittle because I think it's possible that some of those targets missed by Deebo Samuel do slide over to George Kittle. So I would go with George Kittle over Dallas Goedert today in a standard league. A little bit more opportunity for a touchdown for him as well. A lot of competition over there for Goddard. Question from Dan Hostler. I don't want to mess up your name. Question from Dan Hostler. Pitts or Mike Gesicki full PPR? This is a very valid question because, as we know, unfortunately, the volume just hasn't been there for Kyle Pitts. And for Mike Gesicki, it's been inconsistent because, when Tua comes in, Tua leans on Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So Gesicki is a risky option, but I do like Gesicki in this matchup specifically. I do think that there's a good chance that he can exploit this Detroit defense. So if you want to go with the riskier option with higher upside, I do think that it's Mike Gesicki in this matchup. Pittsburgh, not a good defense. They've been very vulnerable against tight ends as well. In full PPR, there's going to be more targets and opportunities for Gesicki in this situation. So I lean towards going with Mike Gesicki over Kyle Pitts. It's crazy that we've gotten to that point, but we have. All right, next question from Della D. Pick 2 running backs in a standard league. It's standard league between Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift, and Brian Robinson. So the standard league question does throw the little wrench in there with Brian Robinson. Normally you would say that's an easy answer between Aaron Jones and DeAndre Swift, but we do know that Aaron Jones is probably not going to have a lot of upside on the ground today. The matchup, Buffalo, not a fantastic matchup. I would expect that it'll be a very similar situation to last week, where we don't see a lot of success for Aaron Jones on the ground, and his value is going to come in as a pass catcher. So it does make it a little bit more complicated in a standard league, because those 10 targets that he could get with Allen Lazard out, with very depleted receiving core being the most reliable option in there, those 10 targets are unfortunately not going to count as receptions in a standard league. But I do think there will be touchdown opportunity for him. I think that Green Bay is going to rely on him heavily. So I'm going DeAndre Swift for sure, and I still would go Aaron Jones over Brian Robinson, because Brian Robinson needs a touchdown as well to reach double-digit fantasy points. Next question from Cynthia. Dameon Pierce or Aaron Jones PPR? Now this might be a situation where I would go with Dameon Pierce over Aaron Jones. Again, Aaron Jones in the tougher matchup, Dameon Pierce, not the best matchup in the world, but given that it's PPR, Aaron Jones will get those pass catching opportunities. So while Dameon Pierce does feel like the more logical area to go with in terms of the workload and production on the ground that he gets, I will still go Aaron Jones over Dameon Pierce in PPR again, because I think it's going to be a similar situation where he is relied on heavily in the pass game. Question from Bride Films. Pete from Boston, full PPR, Gabe Davis or Devonta Smith. Need a win. If you need that win, you got to go with Gabe Davis for sure. The upside is fantastic. I talked about that, very porous Green Bay defense earlier. It's very possible that Gabe Davis, has multiple big play opportunities against a defense that has really, really struggled. He's got that upside. He's got the boom capabilities. Devonta Smith has it too in a, obviously a subpar matchup. So it's tough to make that call, but I would still go with Gabe Davis over Devonta Smith. Brian Robinson or Jacoby Myers, standard league, flex spot. I would go with Brian Robinson over Jacoby Myers. We've seen Jacoby Myers' targets kind of decrease, his target share decrease over the past couple of weeks. Now, granted, there's been some weird things going on at quarterback over there, obviously, and so I know a lot of that plays into it. The offense has been a little bit unstable. They've been relying aggressively on the run, and I think that kind of continues this week as well, given the matchup. It's more advantageous for them to try and make this a battle on the ground. So I lean towards going with Brian Robinson over Jacoby Myers in a standard league for your flex spot. Next question from Jennifer Hafner. Najee, Brian Robinson, Jacoby Myers, and flex half PPR. So we just talked about Jacoby Myers. Najee, unfortunately, has a bad matchup with Philadelphia. And then Brian Robinson, again, we know the issues with him and him being in a PPR format. He doesn't get the benefit of being a pass-catching back. We've got Antonio Gibson that is steadily involved as well. We've got J.D. McKissick, so that opportunity is just not there for him. So I lean towards going with Najee just because he has a little bit higher upside, probably a similar floor as Brian Robinson and a higher upside opportunity. So I would go with Najee over those two. Next question from Dalton Witt. Rest of season, who do I drop? Trevor Lawrence. Or do I drop Trevor Lawrence or Russell Wilson to pick up Marcus Mariota or Jimmy Garoppolo? Yeah, you've got two quarterbacks there that are a little bit unreliable. I do think that the upside and opportunity might lie with Trevor Lawrence. Now, granted, I haven't seen the last, 15 minutes or so of this game, so something might have changed for Trevor, but obviously this wasn't the most fantastic outing in the world for Trevor Lawrence. But again, I wouldn't use this game as a basis for judging because Denver's defense has been extremely, extremely stout all season long. So I wasn't expecting any type of miraculous or high upside performance out of Trevor Lawrence this week. But I do think that rest of season, I would rather take a chance with having Trevor Lawrence on my roster. Russell Wilson is the one that I'm concerned about. So I would probably lean towards dropping Russell Wilson and picking up Jimmy Garoppolo is probably the stabler option. Marcus Mariota does have the rushing upside. The pass volume is very low, but Jimmy G is a stable option to have on your bench. So you've got your Trevor Lawrence with the high upside opportunities and good matchups, and Jimmy G, who is the more stable option for you. So you're kind of meshing well together. So that's the direction I would go for you. Next question from Chase the Line, full PPR flex. Oh, Van Jefferson or Goodwin. I do want to double check if we've gotten news yet on Tyler Lockett. I don't think that we have over the past. I don't think that we have confirmation yet. For last time I checked, about an hour ago, he was still a game time decision. So you do have to kind of wait on that one, which is the only caveat, unfortunately. But the Rams are an afternoon game, so it's not a big deal for you. If Tyler Lockett plays, you've got Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. There's not a whole lot of value in Marquise Goodwin. I would lean towards taking the risk with Van Jefferson. That's the direction that I would head. If Tyler Lockett is out, then I would go with Marquise Goodwin. Question from Who Dat Nation, full PPR, Brandon Ayuk or Tyler Boyd? I'm going with Tyler Boyd. I do like Brandon Ayuk to be a little bit of a target hog in this offense. Again, with Deebo Samuel out, we've seen he's been on a nice little trend here in terms of his target pickup, but I would lean towards going with Tyler Boyd. I believe that he is a top 20 receiver this week. The upside is extremely high. Good matchup. Obviously, Jamar Chase out, so he slides right into that wide receiver 2 spot, and we've seen a lot of success out of that from T. Higgins. And Tyler Boyd has been a very well proven asset in that offense. So Tyler Boyd is the guy that I would go with. Question from Brad Link, Standard League. Hill or Goddard at tight end? So the Standard League does make it a little bit more interesting for Hill, who again, obviously does not have the pass catching upside that a tight end typically would have, right? A little crazy there. But Dallas Goedert is the one that I would prefer to go with in this matchup. Again, good matchup for Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. So I lean towards going with Dallas Goedert as the better option over Taysom Hill. Question from Mike Pageant. Which of these three would you start? Christian McCaffrey, Alvin Kamara, Kenneth Walker, Tony Pollard. You were in quite a conundrum there in PPR. So you're just in literally the best spot in the world because you've got literally all the best options to go with, but the worst spot in terms of trying to make a decision on which one of those guys you have to sit. You never want to sit Christian McCaffrey. So you got to go with Christian McCaffrey, especially with Deebo Samuel out. Obviously, they want to rely on the run game. Now, granted, that is a difficult matchup for Christian McCaffrey, but it is Christian McCaffrey. Maybe he gets a little bit more targets slid his way as well. Alvin Kamara, good matchup, good situation again. We've talked about the injuries. Kenneth Walker, it's an okay matchup against the Giants. They've been average-ish on defense. They haven't allowed a lot of high-scoring games, so that's the only caveat. And then looking at Tony Pollard, obviously, Zeke out, fantastic upside, fantastic opportunity, fantastic matchup. So unfortunately, the guy that I think I got to sit and I don't want to is Kenneth Walker. And hey, you'd hate to say it, but given all three of those guys that you have, the upside is just so high with Tony Pollard that you can't sit him in this situation. So it's got to be Kenneth Walker, unfortunately. Love them all, though. Next question from Robert Moore. Which two should I start in my flex? Tyler Lockett, Michael Pittman, Brian Robinson, and PPR. If Tyler Lockett is active, and it's a game time decision question, and Washington, oh man, you are lucky. Washington is in the afternoon game as well. So yeah, you got a nice kind of wait opportunity there that you don't have to make that decision right away. So good situation for you. You've got Tyler Lockett and Michael Pittman that you should play if active. And then if Tyler Lockett's not active, you just do the pivot over to Brian Robinson. Question from Christina Santiago. Hi, Tara. Hi, Christina. Hope you're doing well today. Start three between Eno Benjamin, Brandon Cooks, Wan'Dale Robinson, Michael Carter, Hunter Renfrow. Well, Devontae Adams is feeling a little bit better from his flu today and will be active. So I'm going to go ahead and nix Hunter Renfrow out, even with Darren Waller out, even with Waller out for the past. It just really hasn't benefited Renfrow in any way, who's been struggling, unfortunately. Love him, obviously. But I'm going to have to bench Hunter Renfrow in that situation. You definitely want to start Eno Benjamin. I do want to start Brandon Cooks in this situation. He is expected to play, and we've got Nico Collins that is out as well. So then it comes down to, are you going Wan'Dale Robinson or Michael Carter? While I do like Wan'Dale Robinson overall, he's a very safe option in PPR just because of the target situation that he has over there. I think I would go ahead and take the chance with Michael Carter. This might be your one opportunity to kind of sneak in Michael Carter as the lead back there. Brian Robinson, obviously, New York said they're going to go with the hot hand over there, but we've seen in the past when these new players go over to new teams midweek, it's difficult for them to come in and get a massive workload because there's still some things that they have to learn about the offense. So James Robinson will be utilized, but not to the extent to which I think that there will be significant opportunities taken away from Michael Carter. So I would go with Michael Carter, Eno Benjamin, and Brandon Cooks as the three that you would start. Question from Steve Sanchez: Wan'Dale Robinson, Isaiah McKenzie, Michael Pittman, or Thielen in flex? Oh man, I would go ahead and go with Michael Pittman as the safest option in there. I know Sam Ehlinger, people might be a little bit worried about that, but I wouldn't be too worried about that greatly decreasing opportunities for Michael Pittman. Again, he's been more of a intermediate and short area receiver this year for some reason. That's how they're utilizing him. I don't know if I agree with it, but that's how they're utilizing him. And it's probably going to make him a little bit less vulnerable to being affected by this change at quarterback. So Pittman is still probably the safer option to go with out of that grouping. Question from James: half PPR, Michael Gallup or Jacoby Myers? I do not like what I have seen out of Michael Gallup. It's possible he's just still not extremely healthy at this point. His snap count is down. His targets are down. This is not what we expected for him coming back, unfortunately. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Jacoby Myers. Now, granted, it's a difficult matchup, so beware. I wouldn't expect significant points out of either one of these guys, but the one who has the higher opportunity in terms of targets to see is probably going to be Jacoby Myers. So go that direction. Question from John Function: Damian Pierce, Devonta Smith, Tyler Boyd, and Michael Carter. Sorry, I smiled there because every time I see Tyler Boyd, I just kind of smile. That is who I would be starting this week out of that grouping, especially in full PPR, Tyler Boyd. Question from Austin Storms: good morning. Half PPR, need one between Drake London, Khalil Herbert, or Paris Campbell. So Khalil Herbert has been asserting himself more in this offense, taking away opportunities from David Montgomery. But unfortunately, against the Dallas defense, I'm not a big fan of either one of them. Again, split backfield. Montgomery is not getting phased out, so we're pretty much guaranteed that there is a cap limit to Khalil Herbert in a bad matchup with Dallas. So unfortunately, I'm nixing him out of there. And I talked about Drake London earlier in the unfortunate target share opportunity very lacking because they simply do not throw enough. So the default there is really going to be Paris Campbell. Similar to Michael Pittman, again, his role that he's playing within this offense, very short yardage opportunities. He can still see those opportunities even with Sam Ehlinger at quarterback. So again, I'm okay with going with Paris Campbell. And then your second question there, the Dallas defense or the Bills defense, both very appealing options. I would still go with the Bills defense over Dallas. Joshua Brooks, choose one. DK, DJ Moore, Brian Robinson. And the start sit on FantasyPros says DJ now, non-PPR all week. Brian Robinson was who everyone said to start this morning. My playbook says DJ Moore. My playbook probably says that because AJ Terrell is out. So basically there's a massive opportunity for DJ Moore because Atlanta's defense has been fairly strong, but they're extremely hurt in their secondary. So there's a big opportunity and a big possibility here that this is a big game, another repeat of last week for DJ Moore. So the upside is a lot higher for him. Yeah, we're probably a little bit safer option going with Brian Robinson, just, in a non-PPR league and the targets not really, or the receptions not adding that point for DJ Moore, but it's still a high upside opportunity for DJ Moore. So I would go with DJ Moore over Brian Robinson. Next question from 2Tex. Really need help, need a win. Always good to know. Geno Smith or Justin Fields? Justin has been, and I like that, the floor and up. Yeah, he's been an RB2, like that, the floor and the upside. Talk me out of Justin Fields. If you need a win, I'm not going to talk you out of it. Dallas is a tough matchup. But again, when we look at these quarterbacks and often wide receiver, all positions really, when you're in a situation where we're at that point of the season where we know, are we pretty much almost a lock to get into the playoffs, or are we fighting to get in? If we're fighting to get in, sometimes you got to take those chances where the safer option is going to be Geno Smith, but the higher upside is Justin Fields. Dallas is a very difficult matchup, but the opportunity for Justin Fields to surpass 20 fantasy points versus Geno Smith in a game where Seattle could be successful against the Giants, but the Giants haven't allowed a team to score more than 30 points on them all season. They've actually been a pretty stout defense in terms of limiting point opportunities, so that's the only thing that worries me there. And if you need that upside, Justin Fields is going to be that guy for you. So no, I'm not going to talk you out of Justin Fields. You got to go for it. You need that win. Go for the upside. Next question from Jonah Kionis. Full PPR, Khalil Herbert or Deontay Johnson at flex. I do prefer Deontay Johnson. We talked about Khalil Herbert earlier and the limited upside that he has. Next question from Shadow Wolf. Pittman or Thielen? Again, similar thing to what I talked about earlier, that I don't think that Pittman is going to be aggressively affected by Ellinger at quarterback to the point where I would sit him for Thielen. So I would prefer to go with Michael Pittman over Adam Thielen. If you could combine them, that would be cool. Next question from Brad Link. Standard need to start 2 between Pittman, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Tyler Lockett. Let me double check real quick on the timing for, I think Indianapolis does still a afternoon game. And yeah, so for sure you're starting Amon-Ra St. Brown. So go ahead and plug him in. And for right now, plug in Pittman. And that's the area that I would go with. That's the direction that I would go with. Michael Pittman and Amon-Ra St. Brown. If we get any news that Tyler Lockett is good to go, you can sub out Michael Pittman for Tyler Lockett, but it is a risky move. It is risky because obviously, him being a game time decision, you can see that it is a possibility in game that there could be some re-injury situation aggregating of the injury. So for right now, I would go with Pittman and St. Brown. And if we get positive news out of Lockett, then you could switch. Next question from Christina Southwick. Good morning. Happy early Halloween. I do want to point out that even though I don't have a costume, I don't know if I can move out the way and show it. I do have some little pumpkins up there at the top of my shelf. So I am Halloweenish, even though I'm not in costume. So we're celebrating here. Happy Halloween. Need help. Kyle Pitts and Irv Smith Jr. Full PPR. Yeah, this one is an easy one for me. I love Irv Smith Jr. this week. The matchup is fantastic. For him, and that's the direction that I'm heading. That defense has been very, very vulnerable against tight ends. We saw it last week, and we will continue to see it. This is a fantastic matchup for Irv Smith Jr. That is the direction that I'm heading. Before I dive into the rest of the questions, I wanted to go ahead and remind you guys that we are still doing our jersey giveaway, and you still have time to enter. If you want a chance to win a signed CeeDee Lamb Dallas Cowboys jersey, courtesy of our friends at Pristine Auction, you need to subscribe to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel right now. Comment below on this video and then stick around because I will be announcing the winner within the next hour, within the next 30 minutes. So this is your last chance to go ahead and enter for a chance to win the CeeDee Lamb jersey. All right, diving back into the questions from Colin Kelly, Brandon Ayuk, Michael Carter, Donta Foreman, half PPR. I am going with, we've got Michael Carter, who again, we talked about, this is the interesting situation for him. Then we've also got Brandon Ayuk, where this is a situation where he can have a higher target share. I don't know how much higher can it get, because he's actually had pretty decent targets over the past several weeks. So I don't know how much it can get higher, but again, very good upside in terms of the opportunities as him being the wide receiver 1 in that offense right now. And Donta Foreman, no Chuba Hubbard. So you've got all these guys that are really just really fantastic options that you could go with, very safe options. And it's half PPR, so they're all very viable. But I lean towards going with Brandon Ayuk. He's been so successful lately. The Rams defense has been very tough, particularly tough against the run. A little bit, I won't say vulnerable against the pass, but if you have to attack them, probably a little bit better to do it through the air. So I lean towards going with Brandon Ayuk. Next question after a sip of water. From Extreme Everything. This is a good one. Michael Pittman or DJ Moore, full PPR. We talked about both of these guys. Obviously, DJ Moore is oddly enough in the more clear situation with PJ Walker at quarterback, and we are in the brand new situation with Sam Ehlinger at quarterback for Indianapolis. I still lean towards Michael Pittman. Just the overall team being better, the opportunities for him being better. I'm genuinely not aggressively concerned about Sam Ehlinger at quarterback. He looked, we saw him during preseason. Now, granted, we have not seen him in live regular season NFL action, but we have seen him in preseason. So this is not a complete myth as to who he is. And he looked good. There's a reason that they went ahead and made this switch in Indianapolis. So I'm okay with going with Michael Pittman Jr. Aaron Hudson, question. Start Amon-Ra St. Brown or Amari Cooper. I do like Amari Cooper this week, although Cincinnati's defense has been tough, but we're talking Amon-Ra St. Brown, maybe we're getting a little bit concerned because it's been a while since we've actually seen him at full strength. But remember, this is a guy who earlier in the season showcased that he is the same guy that he was from last year, that late season guy that literally won leagues for so many of us. So I still want to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown over Amari Cooper. Next question from John Santos. James Robinson or Goodwin at flex. Oh, man. That one is a tough one. Man. Because you're going to have to go ahead and start James Robinson if you don't want to wait for the news. Oh, go ahead and start James Robinson if you don't want to risk it. Although, I will say, go to your waivers and look around and see if there's anybody that could get you 7-8 points. 7-8 points is just the barometer of what you're looking to find. If there's anybody in the afternoon games, so look for guys on Houston. Houston's a possibility because we do have Nico Collins that is out. So look for Houston. I would not look for the Titans. Indianapolis, maybe Paris Campbell is available. Washington is another one you might have to nix out. And then there's also the Rams that you could do with the opportunity for Van Jefferson coming out. I might go that direction as well if Van Jefferson is available. So look and see if there are any guys on the afternoon slate that can get you 7 or 8 points, because I kind of think that's the ceiling for James Robinson. So I would avoid James Robinson right now. Plan to start Goodwin. If Lockett is cleared and he's good to play, pull Goodwin out and go grab one of those guys off of waivers from one of those afternoon games and plug them in. And you're probably going to get the same outcome or a little bit higher than if you had started James Robinson. So that's my recommendation there. Just because, again, I'm not 100% confident on the level of workload that James Robinson is going to be getting in his first game with the Jets. Complicated answer to the question, but I think that's the direction that I would go. Next question from Wheelie. Start 3 PPR. Start 3 PPR between Walker, Stevenson, Swift, Jones, guessing Aaron Jones, and Raheem Mostert. Swift. Love Swift, obviously. Talked about him earlier. Mostert. Fantastic matchup for Miami against Detroit. And then between Walker, Aaron Jones, and Stevenson, it's kind of close, but I think the probably safest direction for you to go is probably go with Walker. You've got fantastic options in Swift and Mostert that are going to put up a solid amount of points. So go with Walker, who's the safest option of those other two, and it's probably the best combination for your lineup. Tyler Purick, Devonta Smith, Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett, half PPR. Who do I start? I would go ahead and start Devonta Smith. I would prefer Devonta Smith over Amari Cooper. Again, given the matchup that Philadelphia has with Pittsburgh, I expect big days out of both A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, so I'm not concerned about that in terms of Devonta Smith being the second option compared to Amari Cooper being the first option, but worst quarterback and worst matchup. So go with Devonta Smith. Question from Cody Berger. Trade question. Would you trade Walker for Chase? Okay. Full PPR. Team is 6-1. Should I get Chase now for end of season? If you're safe at running back, if you're two very solid starters and one decent third option, yeah, I would trade Walker for Chase. It's a gamble. It's a gamble because it is a significant injury. They didn't put him on IR, but that just could be. They sounded hopeful. They sounded hopeful in his ability to heal, a little bit quicker than that injury timeline might suggest. So it's a risk, but it's a risk that will 100%, carry you through the playoffs if he comes back and he's healthy. So I would take that gamble. Next question from Meech, PPR. Wide receiver 1 and 2 and flex. Who should I start? Boyd, McLaurin. All right, we're looking for 3. Boyd, McLaurin, Samuel, Cooks, and Wandale. Boyd for sure. You guys know I love him this week. And the others are, you got to go with Terry McLaurin for sure. I would go with Terry McLaurin over Curtis Samuel. Again, Curtis Samuel is more of and it is PPR, so Curtis Samuel does have, upside there, but the upside is limited because the high upside opportunities do still lie with Terry McLaurin. So I'd lean towards Terry McLaurin over Curtis Samuel, and then I would go with Brandon Cooks as well as your third option. Next question from Jimmy J. Hi, Tara. Choose between 3, or have to choose 3 in half PPR. Adams, Higgins, St. Brown, and Ayuk. Unfortunately, it's going to have to be Ayuk that I sit of that grouping. Devontae sounds like he showed up to practice and was limited on Friday, so that was a good sign, a good trending in the right direction. We've got reports that he is feeling better. All good signs. Doesn't sound like anything's going to go sideways for him, so as long as he's feeling better, I obviously want to start Devontae Adams. Then we love T. Higgins. We love Amon-Ra St. Brown. And while I love Brandon Ayuk, he's going to be the odd man out here, unfortunately. Next question from Henry Jack Foreman or Michael Carter in full PPR. I know that full PPR makes it a little bit difficult, but Michael Carter with the target opportunities haven't exactly been flowing at a high rate to Michael Carter. So honestly, the target opportunities between Donta Foreman is the sole back. Now we did hear that Raheem Blackshear should be involved, but I wouldn't expect him to be involved to a level that Chuba Hubbard was. Just a very different situation in terms of their capabilities and proven opportunities. So I would lean towards going with Foreman as well. Sole guy in the backfield, lead back. He did show pass catching. He has pass catching experience. He did catch a couple targets last week, so that was a good sign that they were spreading the ball around, not pigeonholing him into literally just being the guy on the ground. So I'm okay with going with Foreman over Michael Carter this week in full PPR. Next question from Kyle Koch. Thanks for the tips. You're welcome. Up against Josh Allen this week. And Justin Herbert is on bye. Yes, I absolutely hate when that happens. Who is the safest half PPR streamer this week? Kirk Cousins or Daniel Jones? Yeah, it's going to be Kirk Cousins. I do like Daniel Jones this week. I know, so a lot of people, I need to put a pause on this. A lot of people have kind of looked at Daniel Jones this week, who I do like as a streaming option, because the Seattle defense, we've seen in the past, they've been very vulnerable to quarterbacks. And a lot of people have looked at the past 2 games for Seattle and said, hey, man, the defense has been better. But I don't think it's the case that people are seeing that the Seattle defense has really shored itself up. This is the same defense that was exploited earlier in the year. So this is not a bad matchup for Daniel Jones. I am not off of Daniel Jones as a streaming option, but the far safer option is going to be Kirk Cousins, even in a matchup with Arizona. It's a tough matchup, but he has the weapons. When you look it on the field and you've got Justin Jefferson, you've got Adam Thielen, and on the ground, you've got Dalvin Cook as well. You've got so much to work with that you'll be very competitive in this game with Arizona. This is a game where I could see this getting a little bit higher in terms of the scoring than you would see. And we saw Arizona be a little bit more successful, so maybe this gets into a little bit of a shootout, and Kirk Cousins can be a viable option. So I think he is the safer option that I would go with for you. Next question from Jeremy Miller. Drake London or Wan'Dale Robinson, full PPR. I'm going with Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm so sorry, Drake London. Unfortunately, it's the bad year. It's just a bad year for you. I get a lot of questions around Drake London, and is he a drop candidate? And unfortunately, I do think he is. He's not someone that I feel comfortable with in my starting lineup, even in what in theory should be a positive matchup against a Carolina team that has obviously dealt with a lot of injuries. Their secondary is beat up, but unfortunately, Atlanta, just no matter what the situation is, no matter who they're facing, no matter how much they're down, no matter how much they could benefit from throwing the ball, they're not doing it. They want to run the ball. There's not enough pass attempts to justify starting Drake London. And I don't see where that changes because Atlanta is leading their division right now. So unfortunately, yeah, I don't see where this gets any better for Drake London. I'm not comfortable starting him. I would prefer to start Wan'Dale Robinson, especially in full PPR, where he has been very reliable in terms of his target share there in New York. Next question from Drew Martinez. Tyler Lockett or Adam Thielen? You might Minnesota early game. I think you're going to have to go ahead and go with Adam Thielen. Arizona has been a tough matchup for wide receivers, that's for sure. But I would hate for you to sit Thielen, start Lockett, and end up being in a situation where you've got to pivot to one of those guys, late afternoon guys on waivers because Lockett is out. So I would lean towards going ahead and starting Thielen. Full PPR, Irv Smith Jr., Mike Gesicki. Irv Smith, love him this week. Fantastic matchup. Next question. Arizona has been very, 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 very vulnerable against tight ends. Next question from Sean. Wan'Dale Robinson. Oh, gosh. Wan'Dale Robinson. Rondale Moore. Make me say those names back to back. I can never get it right. Or Allen Robinson. Lots of Robinsons, lots of Moores, and lots of Rons and Wands. Okay. Of that grouping, the one that I do like the most is Wan'Dale Robinson. Again, I talked about it earlier, is that he's been a safe option. He's been a double-digit PPR, as long as this is PPR. If it's full PPR, I'm okay with doing this. Again, we've got Rondale Moore, who his situation is a little bit unknown because we don't know how Cliff Kingsbury is going to utilize him. If he's in the slot, that's fantastic for Moore. If not, then it's a big gamble, and he probably won't be productive. Allen Robinson has a situation where Van Jefferson is coming back. We don't know how he's going to jig into the target share for Allen Robinson, who obviously has had his struggles throughout the year. So Wan'Dale is definitely the safest option of that grouping. Next question from Dave Murdoch. Half PPR, Jacoby Myers, Deontay Johnson. I would still go with Deontay Johnson. Difficult matchup, for sure. Now, granted, more than likely, although Pittsburgh's defense has stepped up a little bit in the past couple of weeks, but more than likely, Jalen Hurts is going to be able to exploit that defense. And if he is able to exploit that defense and they get up big, Kenny Pickett is going to have to air it out. Just air it out, targets for Deontay Johnson, who is still the target leader in that offense, even though George Pickens has come on very strong. So I would go with Deontay Johnson. It's just a much higher upside opportunity than Jacoby Myers in a low-scoring affair matchup. Next question from Andrew Marquez. Should I start Montgomery? Montgomery, Herbert, Hunt, RB2, full PPR. Oh, man, you're in a tough spot. You're in a very tough spot because, obviously, that Dallas defense is a very tough matchup. So both David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert are in a rough situation there, splitting carries in a very tough matchup against Dallas. So I don't like either one of them, but I feel super uncomfortable with starting Kareem Hunt right now. We know we've heard that the Browns are open to trading Kareem Hunt. And I don't think that they need to showcase his talent. His talent is very well known. And so I would hate for you to get into a situation on a Monday night game where you've got Kareem Hunt that is underutilized because they plan to trade him. So I would probably go ahead and start David Montgomery in this grouping. The reason that I would lean towards David Montgomery is that more than likely it's going to be a split backfield from him and Khalil Herbert. Herbert has definitely shown the more juice, but Montgomery has shown that he is more of the pass catching back in that opportunity, and they might lean towards him as the priority at the goal line. So I would go with Montgomery over Khalil Herbert. Next question from Heather Dietrich. Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott. I am so torn. I can understand why you're torn on that one. We want more for Dak. I want more for Dak. I need more for Dak. But I don't know if we're getting it this week. Just because I think that Dallas can aggressively rely on the run against Chicago because they're just simply not good at stopping the run. And we've seen in the past that when they can rely on the run, they do it. And it just kind of limits the upside for Dak. So I would go with Kirk Cousins. It's probably having the higher upside. I talked about that Arizona-Minnesota game could become a shootout if things, while these teams are stout defensively, this could head a direction where they're in a high-scoring opportunity, which benefits Kirk Cousins, so I lean that direction with going Kirk Cousins over Dak Prescott. I get why you're torn, though. Next question from Neil P. I like this question. Jimmy G, Andy Dalton, or Justin Fields? I like this question because I'm a little bit of a risk taker, and I am willing to risk going with Andy Dalton over both of those guys. Jimmy G, this is a situation where I think he's a stable floor option, get you 14, 15 points, and that's cool. Justin Fields, obviously a higher upside play. He's been trending in a very positive direction. We hear nothing but good news in terms of the usage from Chicago and how they intend to continue utilizing him this way. And that is fantastic. But again, it is a difficult matchup against Dallas. So I just worry a little bit that this might be the 1 week, where rest of season, cool. This week right here, a little bit of a problem. And Andy Dalton, well, you look at his performance from last week, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but the yardage was so high, the touchdowns were so high, the interceptions didn't really matter. He was a top quarterback, and it's very possible that we repeat a similar situation this week in the matchup against Las Vegas for New Orleans, because we've seen that Las Vegas just struggles to stop anybody. They can't do it, unfortunately. The defense cannot do it. They are healthy now that, Devontae Adams is healthy. They should be in their offense in Vegas should be very competitive, should be pushing the ball again. This could be a higher scoring affair, and this should benefit Andy Dalton. So I like Andy Dalton over both of those guys as a risky option with high upside because the volume should be there. Hopefully they are chasing points in that game, and we see Andy Dalton with a multi-touchdown game. Next question from Frankie Postal. Pick 2, full PPR, flex, James Robinson, Khalil Herbert, Paris Campbell. I talked about both James Robinson and Khalil Herbert and why I'm uncomfortable with them this week. So I would lean towards going with Paris Campbell, who I'm less comfortable about. I think I talked about it here, even with Ellinger at quarterback. Before I go on to the next questions, I'm going to pause right here because I am going to announce the winner of the autographed CeeDee Lamb jersey. And the winner of the autographed CeeDee Lamb jersey is, courtesy of Pristine Auction, Andrew Weston. Please get in touch with our customer support agents at mailbag@fantasypros.com with your mailing address and proof of your subscription to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel, and we will get that jersey shipped out to you. Again, the winner is Andrew Whetstone. Congratulations, Andrew Whetstone. Make sure I got it right there. You're the winner of the CeeDee Lamb jersey, courtesy of pristineauction.com. Congratulations. Awesome. Every single time I announce those jerseys, I get so jealous because I would love to have all of them. All right, jumping back to the questions. I believe I left off with Sly Dog, Foreman, or Singletary. Pretty sure I talked about Singletary earlier in this live, and why I'm a little bit concerned about Singletary. So I would go with Donta Foreman as the safer option. Singletary, again, might be phased out a little bit if this game with Green Bay is a blowout, and Foreman is definitely the safer option to go with. Next question from Brett Leans. Gabe Davis or Tyler Boyd, half PPR. I love both of these guys this week. I think I talked about it a little bit earlier. Gabe Davis, again, just talked about that matchup for Buffalo is fantastic against a Green Bay defense that has absolutely struggled. We could see another big game out of Gabe Davis. And obviously, Tyler Boyd is just a fantastic option this week. Should be a top 20 receiver. Good matchup. Cleveland's defense has struggled. Boyd is the number 2 for Joe Burrow that is on fire lately. So it's really tough to choose between these two, but the safer option with still having that same upside is going to be Tyler Boyd. So I lean towards going with Tyler Boyd over Gabe Davis. It's tough to choose between those two, but we're going to go with Tyler Boyd. Next question from Tony HGH. Start which quarterback? Geno Smith versus the New York Giants or Jared Goff versus the Miami Dolphins? I talked about the Giants earlier, that they have been a little bit stingy in terms of the points that they're giving up. So I lean towards going with Jared Goff as the higher upside opportunity against the Miami defense that has been struggling, dealing with injuries. They've just been, kind of lit up a little bit. So I lean towards going with Jared Goff. Next question, defense question from Dan Hostler. Rams defense or Titans defense? I lean towards going with the Rams that one's close. Go ahead and let me check. Go ahead and go with the Titans defense. I have faith in the Rams defense. The only difference is that I think that the Titans defense will have more turnover opportunities than the Rams defense, because Jimmy G, again, is going to be a little bit more stable option. While there's not going to be a lot that he's going to do through the air, he's probably more likely to not throw an interception than Davis Mills. So I lean towards going with the Titans defense over the Rams defense. Next question from Dalton Settlemeyer. Full PPR, RB2, pick one between Eno Benjamin and Aaron Jones. Thanks. So I love Aaron Jones overall. But again, this is a difficult matchup where we're relying on him to be the main target guy for Aaron Jones and get a repeat, or for Aaron Rodgers and get a repeat of what we saw last week. So it's a little bit riskier option in that Buffalo matchup, because unfortunately, I just don't see where he's successful on the ground, and it's going to have to be everything through the air again. So if you want to risk it, you can. He has the higher upside than Eno Benjamin, so it depends on what you need. If you need somebody in that RB2, so you said RB2, so maybe your RB1 is very solidified. If you need somebody in the RB2 slot with a higher upside opportunity, go with Aaron Jones. If you want to go with the safer option, go with Eno Benjamin. Safer floor, less likely to bust. But Aaron Jones obviously has the higher upside if he gets a similar usage as he did last week. Next question from Arturo Torres. Good morning. Need help with my flex in PPR, Elijah Moore or Michael Gallup? I'm seeing that one a lot. I don't know if people got a lot of Elijah Moore, Michael Gallup combinations there. I lean towards going with Elijah Moore. It's weird to go with Elijah Moore, considering that he just wanted to trade and wanted out, and he has been vastly underutilized. But the difference here is that I know that Elijah Moore is healthy, and I don't know that with Michael Gallup. His target share has been greatly reduced. His snap count has been greatly reduced. I think we talked about it a little bit early. And I attribute some of that, unfortunately, to maybe he's just not fully back from that torn ACL. We see that a lot with wide receivers and running backs that come back, that while they're healthy enough to come back to action, they're not healthy enough to be successful at the same level that they were last year before their injury. So I get a little bit concerned that we're just not going to see a lot out of Michael Gallup until he's fully healthy. And Elijah Moore now probably has the opportunity to be the wide receiver too in that offense. So I lean towards going with Elijah Moore to hopefully get a little bit more targets and a little bit more upside and opportunity. Next question from Never Go Full, Jeff. Big fan. Awesome. So, Donta Foreman or Paris Campbell in flex, half-point PPR. We're going Donta Foreman. Again, I'm not concerned about Paris Campbell aggressively, so I'm not pivoting away from Paris Campbell completely, but I like the spot that Donta Foreman is in with Chuba Hubbard out. Going to be the main guy in that offense, lead back in that backfield. I trust him more, and I'm okay with going with him over Paris Campbell. Next question from Michael Wainwright. Good day. Full PPR. Brandon Cooks, Tyler Lockett, Brian Robinson. Okay, full PPR, so that helps. Full PPR is going to have me nix out Brian Robinson again, because Brian Robinson, again, touchdown dependent. He has to get that touchdown to carry him over double-digit points in PPR. So we are talking about Brandon Cooks or Tyler Lockett, double checking. So you can wait. You got two afternoon situations there, and if Tyler Lockett is out, go with Brandon Cooks. If Tyler Lockett is active, go with Tyler Lockett. Question from AC. Got to pick one between Thielen, McLaurin, Jacoby, full PPR. I would go with McLaurin in that one. Again, he's got the higher upside opportunity. Washington's matchup isn't the best in the world, but it's not terrible. So I would lean towards going with Terry McLaurin out of that grouping. Next question from Dana DePaul, half PPR. Cook, Swift, Eno Benjamin at running back. Okay, so first part of it, Cook, Swift, Eno Benjamin at running back. I would go Swift. I know we've been spooked a little bit, so I'm starting Swift. I am in my lineups. I got Swift. I'm starting him. I know we've been spooked a little bit by his return previously, but the fact that he was cleared as healthy much earlier in the week, this has not been a game time decision. We didn't have to wait through the weekend. He was a full practice. He was good to go. I'm feeling confident that we have finally got a healthy DeAndre Swift, and the wait will be worth it, and we don't want to miss out on that. So we are going with DeAndre Swift at running back over Dalvin Cook and Eno Benjamin. And then at wide receiver, you do have quite the conundrum there. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Chris Olave, and Michael Pittman Jr. at wide receiver. So you have to sit one of them. Okay, you could play all of them. I would sit Michael Pittman out of that grouping. I would. Everyone else is a fairly safe option. I would sit Michael Pittman and is the one that I'm still okay with it, but he's a little bit riskier in that grouping that you have, so Pittman would be the one that I sit. Next question from Steven in Franco. Sutton was a dud. Yeah, Sutton was a dud. Ugh, hate that. Do I start Wan'Dale Robinson or Rondale Moore at flex? I would start Wan'Dale over Rondale Moore. Next question from B-Turn, Singletary or Foreman. I think I might have got this combination before as well. But I prefer Foreman over Singletary. Same reasoning as earlier for Singletary, that this might be one of those games where he gets phased out. And it's a higher upside opportunity for Josh Allen and the wide receivers. So Foreman is just the far safer option. Next question from Tyler Harris. Need help. PPR, flex PPR, Gallup, Eno Benjamin, or Tyler Boyd. You going to go with Eno Benjamin in that one. Again, uncomfortable with Michael Gallup and PPR. Unfortunately, Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier does not have that upside. So we'll go with Eno Benjamin over Michael Gallup and Tyler Algier. Mitch Taylor, Pickens, Dobbs, Darnell Mooney, Standard League. And you need upside. I always love it when people mention if they need a safe option or an upside option, because that helps. It matters. The upside option of that grouping is not going to be Darnell Mooney, so we're nixing that one out for sure. And given that it is a standard league, the upside probably lies with George Pickens to be able to get a touchdown. Again, I think I talked a little bit earlier. You could get into a situation where Pittsburgh's defense is unable to stop Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts goes off. And if that happens, Mike Tomlin has shown that if they need to chase points, he's willing to let Kenny Pickett just air it out. Just go for it. And that benefits George Pickens. So he could have touchdown opportunity. He's got touchdown upside. I lean towards George Pickens as the one that has the most upside. Next question from Josie Cuvedo. Rams or Panthers defense? I would go with the Panthers defense. Again, we look at that Atlanta offense. I wouldn't expect it to be a high upside opportunity for the Atlanta offense. They're going to try and run the ball aggressively on the ground, which means that there's not going to be a high scoring situation more than likely. So I lean towards going with the Panthers defense over the Rams defense. All right. The only Jarf question. Flex. Stevenson, Higgins, or Waddle. Stevenson, Higgins, or Waddle. I would still go with Higgins. Again, we've got a top 10 situation here. It's a good matchup against Cleveland. Top 10 situation for him now as the clear wide receiver one of that offense. So just go ahead and go. I know it sucks to sit Waddle. I get that. But Higgins is the better option. Sorry, guys. My throat's getting super dry. This is my second live, so my apologies. But we're going to finish it out strong. All right. With Pat Clutch, Help, Jimmy G, Geno Smith, or Matt Stafford. I might lean towards going with Geno of this grouping. Again, I feel super uncomfortable with Matt Stafford this week. I would prefer not to start him in any situation, unfortunately. Geno is a very stable option for sure, but the upside probably lies with Geno, so I would go that direction. Interesting question over here, though, with the next one from Paul Sorensen. Jimmy G or Malik Willis? I like that question. Obviously, that offense is probably going to aggressively run through Derrick Henry. Malik Willis, we've seen that, he could maybe get you there in terms of having more upside over Jimmy G with his work that he does on the ground. So that does make it very interesting because you also got 4-point passing touchdown league. So it's not like Jimmy G is, if we've got some kind of touchdown discrepancy between Jimmy G and Willis, at least it's not a 6-point situation. So that's good to know. I might be okay with going with Malik Willis over Jimmy G. Floor is okay for Jimmy G, but the upside is probably a little bit higher than Malik Willis. So there's, Malik Willis, Jimmy G is one of those guys that I would start him over. I would do Malik Willis in this situation. Next question from Jabari. Pitts or Hurst at tight end? I would go with Hayden Hurst for sure. Next question from I'm doing so bad with the names here. Gotta Ben Tune. Got to Ben Tune. Montgomery, Pickens, Jacoby Myers, PPR, need one for flex. Same reasoning I gave a little bit ago in terms of the upside that Pickens could have if they have to play catch up. So I would go with George Pickens of that grouping. Kenneth Walker. Oh my gosh, we've got 1 minute. Kenneth Walker, David Pierce. I would go with Kenneth Walker, full PPR. Next question, Brandon Ayuk or DJ Moore in PPR? I would go with, I like the upside of Brandon Ayuk. Go ahead and make that switch out. Anthony Silverstein, DJ Moore, or Devonta Smith? Go with Devonta Smith. Again, the matchup, good. Philadelphia defense or Philadelphia offense against the Pittsburgh defense. That's a plus matchup. Upside is very high for Devonta Smith, although I don't dislike DJ Moore this week either. It is 12 o'clock. Sorry, I'm in Houston. I'm on Central Time, so it's 12 o'clock for me, but it is 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It is kickoff time. Thank you. Oh, one more question. Irv Smith or Mike Gesicki? Irv Smith for sure. Love Irv Smith this week. Full PPR. All right, guys. Thank you so much for the questions. All fantastic options. Always fun chatting with you and appreciate all the positive comments and positive vibes. Go enjoy these games. Good luck to you all. I hope you have